Hello, everyone, and welcome to the American Reach Mahjong League. I am Korak, joined by Nathaniel. How you doing?
Doing pretty well. Looking forward to getting back to some Armel action.
All right, it's been a week since our last broadcast, and we have a B1 game to start with. Christian, Ryan, Sarah, and Hanley.
Overall, looks like
And
Christian's doing pretty well in this division and starting us off in the dealer seat.
yes, nice little Pinfu Tanya hand, maybe a 3 for 5 Sanshiko in there. On the right, we have the South Yakuhai, probably a call and go type hand. The rest of the shapes aren't great. Across the way, nice little Onko of 8 pin and 9 pin pair. Kind of hard to figure out what that hand's going to be yet. There's a lot of flexibility, but at the same time, I'm not really seeing much value. Speak of value, though, on the left we have a very wide head Ishanten here. Not actually headless, give that 4 4 5 6 7, but extra 6 Mandora and an extra 5 pin, so doubly Peiko choices.
In the meantime, dealer has drawn into Ishanten with Tanya Nodora. I was questioning this 8-so cut, or sorry, 3-so cut in favor of holding onto the 8-so and immediately backfires with the 2-so draw, but still could manage to upgrade in the upper Pinzu and have a really nice looking shape. Of course,
Alternatively, could have been a potentially perfect Ishanten now, but won't
right.
be there. I don't think you can call this 6. I don't like the call here. Tanya Dora 1, yeah, there's a pass.
Home.
Definitely with that Ryan. There is our Yakuhai call, which we expected. And we'll go ahead and take the Ishanten. Needs the 2 5 Mon and 8 Mon in order to get what would be non Nomi. Now we have Tempai on the left. This is a garbage hand. Richi Tanya Dora 1. I think you still take it though.
It's
Would just be the 4 pin. The problem is most of your upgrades stink. We'll
yeah,
instead Dama this.
it's right on the edge, and Ryan says, it's good enough. Maybe he's actually waiting one turn to see if the door will pass and not have a see pots first move.
リーチ
Well, we have a Tempai across the way. This is going to be. Well, that improves the shape anyway. I guess you just slam
1
that one.
Yeah,
So it'll be Ricci Pin Fudora, possible Tanyao. The 4
1
pin is 3 out, and the 1 pin, only the 1 has been discarded. Across the way, it is a 9 so 9 Mon. We see one 9 so discarded, and one 9 Mon in that hand to the right. There's the 1 pin.
ド
We'll
ン
deal in Ricci Pin Fudora.
also sad for Sarah. Didn't get the big draw towards Suanko or Doko, but found a good Ricci. Ends up dealing in, though. As for Ricci, though, that Shaba weight looked really good. With a chance at Sanonko on Sumo.
Are you getting any in game sound?
I am getting in-game sound.
Well, I'm not.
Oh, yeah, it's quite possible that the share to you is still bugged. It's had that issue for a while now.
All right, well, we'll continue here. Hanlei has kind of a Pinfu type hand, very distant 1 2 3 Sanshiko, but you're not really thinking about it. But even Itsu, if you draw a bunch of Sotiles back to back, I think you just play fish, you don't worry about it. On the right, Pinfu type hand, but you have double Kanchan fills with the 5 7 so and 6 8 Mon. You'd have that 5 so being Dora, so that would be nice. You get Ricci +1. You don't necessarily need a good way to take it. Across the way, nice shape of the Pinzu 3 4 4 5 5 6 8 8 9 and a floating Dora. Really looking to turn this into a Ricci Pinfu Tanyao Sanshuku Dora, maybe Peiko if you get a shift on the 3 pin there. And on the left, trying to decide whether you go Chinitsu or just Ricci Pinfu. Maybe Peiko, but would be require a very specific fill to get there.
Yeah, Hanley's still seeking here in the dealer seat. Dora would be a great improvement, and this 9-so kind of fixes a potential pair in hand. Technically, Ishan 10 if you can find the 3 mon, but we still really want to draw something around this 4 pin.
There are also Itsu routes. I think especially if you draw something like 8 Mon, you just cut the 2 Mon and continue.
And of course, the 2-door hand on the right is the one that I'm really looking at.
リー
Oop,
チ
found
Well,
Spy's
that's just
Senpai.
Tempai, Ricci, Dora 2, possibly 3. We see one pin out, and the other is a 5 so Dora, 2 in hand and
1
1 across.
Ooh,
There is going to be an immediate chase, and this is Ricci Nomi, I believe.
yeah,
Yeah, Ricci
Richinomi.
Nomi on 5 8 pin.
Oh, so many of these tiles getting sucked up in Ryan's hand. He's holding all these winners. But
So
tough
do
to.
you like just chasing good weight, or do you get greedy for Chinitsu?
It's kind of difficult to pass both the 6 and the 7. Maybe the 6 is kind of okay, but would we be Tempai here? I think not quite.
No, not with the. If we'd have kept the 1 mon earlier, yes, we would have been.
Oh, there's a
Oh,
one pin.
there's the deal in. Ricci, Dora 2. We'll see any Aura would be Mungon. But we'll just get the 6200, the 5200 direct, and of course the Ricci stick. Something a lot of players forget when they deal in on that Ricci is if you pay out 3900 and you lost a Ricci battle, usually you paid out 4900. You just forgot about it.
Hmm. Well, that will put Sarah into second place, back over 30k.
And his dealer here with a Dora, pretty decent shapes. Would love to pair up a Yakuhai and just go. Speaking of good shapes, Phil's in there, in there with Dora. So definitely has a workable hand here on the right. Few pairs, not too much else. I'm not really thrilled with that hand. You have the Hatsu pair, so probably just call and go. Pray you can get to some sort of toy here. I definitely cut 9-pin. And there it goes across the way. Maybe a 79 Sonshugu hand. Also keeps a floating 4-mon where 3-mon is Dora. And on the left, Anko of the Tone, so can just go there. Honestly, that's a Ishunten. I didn't even realize it. That's headless Ishunten. Any of 1, 2, 5, or 6, and you just take the Ricci.
Yeah, and of course the 3 mon as well was greeted a little bit here by Hanlei. Uh, could have held the Nobeton shape for potential good shape.
Oh, ooh, that's an interesting draw. Do you just Ricci the East and take the good weight, or do you
Yeah,
choose a Chonky? Well, go ahead and give up the Yakuhai, turns into Ricci Dora 1, waiting on 4-7 mon. We see 3 of them in hands, none discarded.
and this is the draw that Hanlei was hoping to accept. It is really interesting to think about cutting 5 mon or 6 mon and trying to get a better weight that includes the East later.
I kind of like just cutting 5-mon and Dama.
Yeah.
I'm very rarely a Dama advocate, as is well known by this point. But I
Hmm.
think with a Tonki like that, you have so many options to upgrade. But
And
I believe the textbook, yeah, that South Tonki once cut. Oh, I'd be salivating.
and while you're waiting, if your winning tile comes out, you can still call Roan.
Or you could even pass if you just like, you know what, the hands. I'm still in a good position. You give yourself options.
Right.
That force, so I'm mildly surprised was not called. I absolutely would have taken that.
Yeah,
Because
there
that
would
would have
have
been
been
Tempai
Tempai
for Tanya, Dora 1 for Dealer to shut down this Ricci on a good weight with that 3-6.
with the tile that you have to push. The 8 pin not seeming that
Not
dangerous with
that
the
bad
tile
with
deck.
those 3-7s in the hand.
So the waiting game continues. 4-7 mon, still looking pretty live in the wall, but everyone looking to defend here. Christian is back towards
Oh, and that
Ishanten.
would have been your sumo on that 6-pin. Looks to just be folding out at this point.
In respect to the Ricci. Another 4-so,
Chitoy,
but a little too late.
Tempai, Christian across the way. It
Still,
kind of takes this 4-so, seeing there's only one left, but this is such a hard hand to win now. Again, I don't really. Well, there's your sumo. Doesn't matter. Ricci's sumo, Dora. No aura, but we'll get 4,000. Jumps into first place with that over Ryan, who will be dealer now.
yeah, so everyone's had a turn winning hands. That's still pretty even outside of Christian, who is yet to find his win.
All right, Ryan with a kind of a Pinfu type hand, very standard. You'd love to get a 3-so Dora here with this 2-2-4. When you have that 2-so as Dora indicator, it's not really a pair you want in the first place. And that's one where a lot of the times I might even just cut the 2-so preemptively,
Hmm.
saying I don't even want this block unless I get that improvement, even over this pension.
Yeah, Ryan cutting the 9 pin here, definitely keeping thoughts of Tanya alive.
Yeah, definitely go for the Tanya. On the right, we have the Hakupon. Is Ishan 10 looking for a pair and has a Penchon needing that 3-so door indicator. Maybe cult behavior on the right. Across the way, Chun pair and a floating Dora. Me even a Sonanko route if another thing pairs up here. But we'll just go ahead and call the tune, probably looking to connect to that door and just get out of this hand as quickly as possible.
Yeah, it should be a, an opportunity perhaps for Doritanki for Hanley.
I
But
don't like the 5 pin there. The 9 doesn't really give you that much because the good shape is an 8 so draw where you're cutting Dora and immediate backfire.
mm,
Because if you would have kept that, you have two options. You can take the 3/6 weight, or you could even take the Doritanki weight.
yeah, and I suspect with a number of Sanzo believers in this league, and that might have been the choice.
Also decided to pass the Daiminkan on 5mon,
Home.
but ends up in Tempai anyway, waiting on that 3 so, which is dead.
Yeah, all held at this point, and it's gonna be interesting to
Gee.
see if anyone can win this hand outside of, I guess. No, I mean Christian's waiting on the Sanzo as well, and that's just never coming out.
Right, and Sarah's trying to do something with his hand, but it's likely going to be Shampoo 3 so 4 pin, just based on what's out. Because the 4 pin's actually dead as a pair. And here it is, it's Tempai on 4 pin 3 so. I think you have to just take it.
That's
It's so bad. It's gonna Dama here, figuring the door is not coming out unless it's sumoed. And if you sumo, it's Mongon anyway. I don't hate this. I'd still slam it though.
we'll wait a little bit.
We'll do the one turn or Ichi delay.
Yeah, I mean maybe one, not even one turn reach, just one turn to think about and realize, you know what, actually applying the pressure here is more important to me right now.
I think it was more. Oh, I hate that 7 so cut. So it does give you the upgrade exception to the 3/6. If, however, you throw the 5mon, it doesn't look safe against that hand. But if you do take it and you just sumoed here, you'd have this 3-sided 2/5/8
258.
weight. It's a very dangerous tile, especially if you see all of them at this point. But if it passes, you are in business.
Yeah, this is definitely the greedy option where you could potentially win with the Dora and get Chundor too, but
And Ryan not taking Chitoy Shunten definitely seems to be done with this hand.
Chi.
we'll call this 3mon
Well,
though.
say that, immediately decides to go ahead and call,
Chi.
and then turns around and shoves the 6.
I guess
Of
Toyman
course, the
passed
6
that.
was safe, cleared across. So he's looking for any route back into Tempai, but I don't. I guess the 4's Nakatsuji here. You could justify shoving it. But yeah, just throws the 6. And his hand isn't ever getting to Tempai, because you have to have a pair somewhere.
You don't really want to drop anything around this Dora and use the other side as your pairs, so
Well, there's your pair. Technically, Shunten, but not even going to take it. I think you definitely should have done the 7mon, though.
right. Oh,
Oh, you
dude,
throw the 7mon.
I
This
would
still
I would
isn't
cheat.
Tempai.
Chi.
Well, yeah, because you would have thrown the 8. But this doesn't do anything. It just changes who gets the last
It
draw.
puts the pressure on Christian.
Yeah, who has 3 calls and kind of an awkward hand, but just shoves. And so we'll have 2 players Tempai here, as Hunley and Sarah both pick up 1,500 points.
Yeah, I kind of like that call if you view Christian as being not Tempai and just trying to bail with 3 calls. Give him a draw, make him deal in, see if it happens.
It is hard to fold from 3 draws, something I have had to do many times. It's not enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
Home.
Fortunately, Christian was
Christian will
able to
be
get out.
dealer here. Pulls the tune, has a Dora in the hand, just trying to look with a call and go on this hand. On the right, pair up with a 4 pin. Now Ishan 10 does have the overlap on the 3-4-6-7mon. Also could accept a Dora. And speaking of, there's one of them. So I guess that fixes your overlap problem, huh?
Yeah, absolutely accept the block with the Dora.
Across the way, pin Futai Pound, real like a 7mon or a 7 so. And on the left, 4-5-6 Sanchku looks like the best play here. Needs a little bit of work to fix it in, to fill it in, because you have this ugly 2-2-3-5-5-6-8 so shape, which wants 4-7. Let's see, how many 4-7s do one? 1, 2, maybe 3, and could even accept 4 of them.
And that 4-5-6 is looking a lot harder now that Hanlei has paired up another Dora 6 pin and might even make the full Honitsu shift.
Ooh, interesting. Decides to throw back the 1 pin, keep the Ishun 10 since there is 2 Dora in hand.
Yeah, could see it as Ishanten for Honitsudor to Yakuhai for the full Mangan. But chose to just accept the Manzu acceptance here.
Well, that's not exactly how I expected Ryan's hand to develop, but it's Shito Ishanten now. And Christian appears to try to be shifting towards a Chanta type hand, but with that Dora seems unlikely. Keeping an option open is where they want to go to the Sanjiku and then end up cutting the one so anyway.
Yeah, Sanchoku would be a nice boost to the hand, although you would be ending up waiting on the 6-9 pin and likely
We're
looking for the
needing
6
the
pin.
2 Dora, so Chun Sanjiku Dora 2 would be good, but it's going to take
Right?
a lot of work to get there.
Yeah, it's definitely a dream.
Well, now you just take Tempai. Chun Dora 1 on 2 5 so. 5 so is actually dead.
홈,
And Tempai on the right, 4 6 pin Shampon. Of course, 6 pin is Dora. That would be Mongon. Winning on the 4 pin would be 3,900, although a Sumo would actually get this to 52.
Yeah, this 2-so, 5-so weight, not very live, but the 2-so is not usable by 2 players, and even 3 if Ryan really is committing to the Chitwa here.
Well, there's one of them. But the problem
But
is that's one of the people who actually needs it. I am surprised this was. Oh, wait, no, never mind. That fits.
yes,
I'm surprised you have that one so discard because you could have maybe gotten away from the potential Furiton here, but at the same time, oh, well,
롱,
there it goes.
yeah, if you
I
take
think I
one,
cut
not
9
two.
pin there. I absolutely cut 9 pin there.
Probably a little bit of concern to the open hand on the right, that 9 pin
Right.
dealing into a Dora Suji shape. Potentially.
Potentially, but generally Disney Door Suji's not that expensive on an open hand, unless you found the Nobetan. And even then, it's going to be 2,000. But we are in South 1. And if we can get the dealer changed. All right, Christian is deal here. Great starting in here. Ricci, Tanyao, maybe a Peiko upgrade. Well, that's like the worst possible draw you could get. Because that makes this hand cheap and slow. Probably going to end up cutting this penchant completely. On the right, slow type of Pinfu type hand. And, oh, well, that fixes Christian's problem. Just pull Dora in. Across the way, just play efficiency. That's technically Ishan 10. It's kind of an ugly one, but you'd take it if you got the 6 pin. For Ricci Dora 2. If you get the 9 pin, it's also Ricci Dora 2. So anything is acceptable there. Decides to cut the 2 so. I disagree with this strongly. I think Sons of memes aside, it's much better to not have this overlapping shape. You can just cut the 5 pin here. And on the left, bunch of pairs, maybe in 2-3-4 Sanshoku, maybe even 2-3-4 Sanshoku with the Peiko.
Yeah, we'll never say no to a hand like that. In the meantime, Christian followed up that Dora draw with a 7-mon draw, filling the Kanchan, had his choice of diamond to cut. Chose the 2-3-so, giving up the Class A diamond for a potential Tanyao. Oh, and now
Well, that's
super
a
wide.
nice little draw. Could even get Sanshoku here now.
Yeah, this could be exactly the hand that Christian needed to break this game open. 7-pin draw. Amazing.
And Ryan's hand isn't budging, but that is not Tempai. Here with that 7-mon draw, it gives a super wide shape in Manzu, but I'd honestly throw it back because I like the Sanshoku.
I agree. And Christian does as well. That is Ishanten on the right for Honlai. Doesn't need the Sanzo, but potentially Peiko.
There's a Ricci across. Fills in the Yonko of 6-mon. So that's going to fix that problem. It is now Ricci Dora 3 on 6-9 pin. And there's a very loose one for Ryan, and there it goes. Ricci Apatsu Dora 3.
Oof.
No aura, so it's only 8,600.
Yeah, Ryan was in the middle of cutting a penchant that Ricci came out in between the 8 and the 9 pin. It's really unfortunate timing for him. I think he had one Genbutsu tile, the Formon, but that would give up any hope of winning the hand.
All right, and with that, Hanley in first place and his dealer here now with a pin. Fu type hand has a Dora and an acceptance tile with that 7-9 pin. 7 pin is Dora. The rest of these are pretty good. I like this dealer hand. On the right, maybe some sort of Sanchiku later, but I don't like any of those shapes. Anytime you have the overall, your best shape is the 4-5, but it also has overlap with a 1-1-2 in your hand. When your best shape is an overlap, that's a pretty good sign your hand stinks. On the left,
Home.
Tanyao, maybe a Pinfu. So probably going to try and go fast here, but problem is needs little points. And the other problem is the person you were competing with on that third place position just called a non-wind pair. And you got to be thinking, what? Looks like it's going to be a Honitsu in Manzu. Potentially could also be with the South Yakuhai. Or could even be Chanta.
Is still with the best hand here. Tempai already with two
Senpai for
Dora.
dealer for Ipeco Dora 2 will
Home.
Dama.
Yes, Dama 7700. Nasty snipe on the 8 pin.
Yeah, I don't think it's coming out on the right, though, and there's only one other left in the wall.
With Koiman.
Headless Ishanten for Ryan there, with a double pen shot and an Onko.
Oh, second
Oh,
8.
that one on
Boom.
the other end will come out, though. That one I don't think you're dodging. That's going to be 7,700. Direct hit on Sarah, and now Hodley in commanding position in this game in South 2. Has a nice little Tanya hand here, maybe some shifting for 2-3-4 Sanchiku. Right now, just a 3-bond pair, but there's definitely a route to getting a lot of value out of this hand. On the right, Pinfu type hand, you need to do something that's so shape, although you could just pair up the double south. Probably plan to call and go. Across the way, we have a Haku pair, but there's a problem. On the left, we also have a Haku pair. So we're going to have a couple of bricked hands just waiting on each other. And not only that, they look like they're both going to end up going Stozu Honitsu with a Haku pair.
Oh, that's awkward. I mean, they both have options then to be able to make a hand
Chi.
without using the Haku, but Christian's kind of committing here.
Christian goes and calls the 1-2-3, gives her out for Itsu later potentially. Doesn't want to throw the Dora just yet. I think that's what's really holding these two players back, is they both have this Dora that they're not sure what to do with.
Oh, no. I think Ryan is trying to use the Dora in his hand.
I think both are trying to. The question is, will they be able to?
One of the very important 7 mons has just been sucked away into Hanlei's hand again. He discarded the first one, held on to the second one.
Well, now he's seen a Dora come out, and he knows where 2 of the 7-1 are. He's thinking it's pretty good in the wall, and it's it's as good as it can be when you see 2 of them. But there's the south called on the right. Now, perfect Ishan 10 if it's taken.
Just choosing which which complex shape to retain holds the wider one.
Well, there's Chi, and that should be a 3-sided Tempai, and it is. And I think that's going to shut this hand down for 2,000. The question is, who's going to deal in?
Hanlei has a chance to turn this into Honitsu for dealer.
Yeah, that may be his only way not to deal into this, too. That 9 pin is super loose here otherwise.
Oh, no Chi on the 2 pin.
Yeah, I'd have cheated and cut the 3-3.
No.
There's the 9, though. Ryan deals in. That's going to be 2,000. Put Sarah right under 30K as we're in South 3, and Sarah will be dealer. Wow, that's a nice little shape upgrade and value upgrade. We have that 7-9 pin with 6-pin Dora, draw the 6, cut the 9. On the other hand, is looking at Tanya Sanchoku Dora, and not even that slow either. On the right, we have a South pair and 2 Dora, a very direct call and go. Across the way, Is that Ishanten? I think it is. Yeah, it is. Question is, which shape is going to be taken?
Yeah,
And
three
even if you get
Kanchan.
the tempo, you're going to take it. Says, no, you know what? Forget this. And Sarah just goes ahead and pulls and says, you know what? I don't like the pin shot either. I'm going to call and go here. Aim for the Tanya Sanskudora. And that's one of the pieces that was missing from this. On the left, we have the north having been called. Possible toy shifts later, but probably just trying to get this hand over with and into South 4.
Sarah definitely leading the race here. Big question mark on when that south comes out of Hanlei's hand because Ryan is looking for any type of value to make it past Christian before his dealership, his final
Well, he's
dealership.
also Chitoi Shunten.
And that's going to be an interesting decision then, whether he
Home.
chooses to
Well,
take
now I
it.
find you just go Toy. I think I might just cut the 1, 2, 3. Except you have the. I think I cut 3, 3 because you have two Dora.
Yeah.
I think you cut 3, 3. If you don't, I think this should always be the 1, 2, 3 cut.
Down Toy Toy.
Each.
Great way for value, but
Tempai across the way, waiting on Formon. It is Richinomi, and there are two in hands, but they're in Steras, and uh-oh. Keeps the Sanshku here.
it feels like Ryan just has to fight here.
Feels like everyone except for Hanley kind of has to fight here with this hand. With these hands as they are now.
Oh, that's
There it
unfortunate.
goes. Richinomi. You deal it and your heart drops and it needs to get third two. I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
whatever.
At that point, you're more disappointed at the missed opportunity of your own hand, but still, one more chance here in South 4.
And it's cheap enough, especially with you being last dealer here, that there are routes coming back that aren't even that difficult. And has a pretty good starting in here. Likely just going to be a Ricci Pinfu, but the shapes are great. Completed shape, double Rionman, pairs already fixed. Now you can accept Dora. This hand is all of a sudden really good. On the right, Pinfu type hand, 5, 6, 7 Sanchku looking very good there. Also has a Dora in there. And this is a very wide Ishan 10 for dealer now. Ryankan Ryanman Ishan 10 across the way. A Pinfu type hand there as well. Nothing particularly fancy. I think the Formon would help a little bit, but honestly, the shapes are kind of messy. And in first place, I don't think you really want to expose yourself too much. On the left, looking for the Itsu here. Possible routes to Sanshku, but I mean, honestly, if you get the Tempai, you just slam it for Ichidoro 1.
Each.
Tempo for Ryan, he's going to slam.
We'll wait on Dora. Is Dora Kanchan only, Richidora.
2 in the wall.
Ishan 10 across the way, but not really the tile you want to draw.
Does jam the 3-mon though, on the Ipatsu turn.
Now the 3-pin is Suji, but there's an old rule. Don't trust Suji near Dora. Doubly true if it actually is Dora. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Christian might get into trouble here.
Yeah, danger dropping the 1. But he really doesn't have anything else that's safe, so
Cheat.
he's just
You
going
could
to...
cheat cut 6, 7 and go for the Dora Tonki plan. Okay, cuts the 3-mon because that had already cleared across. Hanley had already cleared that.
Oh, now Tempai.
Well, now you just take Dora Tonki, Sanshogu Tanyao, Dora 2.
Amongon. Look, Hanlei's never...
Sumo.
Oh, just
Oh,
sumo!
just sumo! That's going to be the second place steal.
That Chi of the Forso stole that tile away from Ryan as well.
Right. Okay, there you go.
What a move.
Gets the maximum value out of that hand. The winner's, though, is going to be Hanley with the 26.2. In second place, Christian with that big sumo on the end there, 10.8. Sarah with a minus 7.2. And Ryan, who started off pretty strong, but then had a pretty rough deal in and just got nothing in the South round, minus 29.8.
All right, well, as standings update, Christian continues to climb in the division slowly but surely. That fifth spot is only at plus 42.1, so definitely some room to make up some points here. And I think that was actually the last game of the series. They must have played the first three on another day.
All right. Well, I think there's a B3 game going on in starting in 2 minutes that we can jump into between Danny, Michael, Zhongyu, and Andrew.
Okay. I remember watching Xianghu not that long ago, a very exciting game. So I have high hopes that this game will be equally exciting.
Okay, just updated in chat. Hanley says Sarah's traveling next week, so they got the first 3 games in early.
Gotcha, gotcha. Makes sense. I've got the new players in for this upcoming B3 game. So we can take a quick peek at the standings here. Andrew at plus 63.2, very high scoring division so far. That's good for 8th place, and Xianghu right behind in 9th place with 20.2. Those are the two players in the positives.
I also have a pretty big division here, so in order to get the guaranteed promotion spots, you got to get pretty far up there. But generally, as we always say, in these lower division, particularly the C1 and B3, you'll usually get at least a few free passes. So it's just a matter of collecting your points, and above all, make sure you end the season at plus minus 0 to be eligible.
Yeah, definitely want to be 0 or higher. Give yourself a chance at least at those bonus promotion slots, even if you don't make the guaranteed spots. Yeah, B3 table 7 just indicates how large this division is.
It's not even the biggest one. I believe C1 has more than that.
That's very true.
Take a look, 36 players in C1, so that's a gigantic mess.
Yeah,
But when you're in these positions, you're just looking to survive in advance and put yourself in the best positions here. And Andrew looks to be in a pretty good position for now, but we still have 11 games this season.
yeah, this will be the second of their series. Um, Pretty solid win rate for Andrew is what's carrying him this time around, 26.7%. Very good. And hearing a gong, that means the game is starting.
All right. Well, Danny is dealer here. Has the old 2-3-5 mon shape or 5 mons Dora.
Yeah,
You're looking for any excuse to cut the 2, but you're afraid you're going to have to throw the 5 anyway eventually. And if you get that in together, then likely Tanya Dora 1, maybe even 3-4-5 Sanshku when you look at the rest of this hand. On the right, ew. It's a hand that's telling you it wants to be Junshan, but not really. A 7 pin may push you in that direction more, though. And I have a 789 Sanshugu potential as well. Across the way, that I believe is a Ishan 10. And there it is. It fills into Ishan 10. Would be Richinomi, though. You're looking for a little more value out of a hand like that. You'd really like to draw like 3 so, and maybe turn this into either a Toy type hand or an Ipeco at least. And on the left, has a Dora, decent shape. Throw this pair with a pair of North, call and go here, get your 2000 out of it, because that's not the type of hand you want to sit around with a long time, because the shapes really need to fill it. Well, just draw all your tiles and ignore me. That'll fix it.
in the meantime, dealer paired up the 5 mon. That's another way to fix the issue. Now sits 2 away from Tempai. You can still call the 4 mon, of course, and work your way
Yeah, the
towards
problem with
Tanya.
pairing up the Dora here for Danny is you don't really want to call this, even though this hand wants to be called. Because you have this 2-3 mod that you're going to have to get the 4 on.
Come.
Oh, forget not calling. We're just gonna Diamond
Okay, just
Con.
full speed ahead, Daiminkan.
Oh, it holds the 7 mon here. Loses the 4 so acceptance.
Yeah, I don't like this. I think you got the 4 pin anyway, I think the idea here is keeping the 455 allows you to pair up the 2 or 3. The
Hmm.
problem is you want to use Chudora anyway, so that's probably your pair. I could even go for cutting the 7 mon.
Yeah, I guess this allows you to chi in the Monzu, like the 6 mon, and then cut the 2 mon and have not worry about Tanya, or just fill your Conchons.
That's another idea. But again, if you end up cutting the 7 mon anyway, I think you could have got rid of there.
That's
Across
true.
the way, though, this is Tempai, but Ricci Dorawat on this ugly Shampon with so many
Peach.
upgrades. Didn't take the Ricci last turn, but he'll take this one. Is a 4-so 7-pin Shampon. Not exactly ties you expect to flow
Peach.
it naturally. And will be chased immediately.
Ooh, this is the tile that Denny was looking for, though.
You have
Wilchi.
to take. You have to take that.
Have it.
Dealer with Tanya Dora 2.
Oh,
And there it
No.
is.
that's the right way.
I think you'd always take the Rihanna right there because with the 2-pin con, there just aren't. The 2-5 is very
Hmm.
likely in demand. So you figure the 5 is just not going to help you. The alternative is if you push the 5, it's a little scarier.
Right.
But so long as it clears, you're in pretty good position.
That was good enough for the 5,800 win, plus the 2 Rigi sticks, and Daniel will get a dealer repeat.
And has 2 Dora, and would like to be able to call this hand, but it's going to have to pair up this East first. I think I'd have held another Yakuhai and just cut 1-so, because I don't ever like cutting Dora pair.
Yeah, I mean, if you end up drawing well around these floating tiles, and you do draw the 2-so, I guess you're fine smashing a Ricci Penfudora.
I mean, yes, eventually, but not yet.
Well, that
And
1-so's gonna go
so you
anyway.
get the 4-so, it just ends up cutting the 1-so anyway. On the right,
Home.
that is a bunch of pairs and an Onko there, looking
Home.
for the ideally Suanko, of course, but probably will accept the Peiko if it gets there. Across the way, Chun has been pulling. Also has a Dora, Ishanten right now, and on the left has the East Call and also Ishanten.
Kang.
Ooh.
Con,
Oh!
Con into Dora 4.
Oh, things getting
That fixes
spicy.
a hand pretty quickly.
That's
Oh, and I hate that 3-mon cut.
yeah, with the original Sanzo Dora,
Home.
Okay, well, it does get Tempai anyway.
we're looking at Hanuman across the way, but Andrew's trying to shut this down.
Through the 3-mon probably because it was safe, but use a lot of acceptance that way. But
Sumo.
just gets the tile anyway, and Sumo shuts down the danger of the table, and 3 people breathe a sigh of relief, and 1 threw his computer out the window.
Yeah, that was a Hanuman that just got shut down by a one-on hand. Unfortunate.
All right, well, this is Michael. His dealer here has a Dora, decent shapes. Do have an overlap of the 4, 5, 7, 8 Mon, but honestly, an above average starting hand. On the right, kind of pretty standard Pinfu hand. Also has a floating Hatsu Dora. Shapes are a little weaker, but a couple Ryam in there as well. Across the way, again, pretty standard Pinfu type hand. A 2-mon would really help that hand. As a couple floating Yakuhai, I imagine those are just going to get cut right away, and there they go. And on the left, a bunch of pairs, but more likely to be a regular hand than a Chi-Toy, given how the rest of the hand is shaped up. You have 7-7-8 pin and a 6-7-8-9-9 mon.
And the question mark about the Hatsu has kind of been answered as 2 of them been discarded already, so players are a little bit more free to reach you with whatever they'd like, without fear of someone chasing with the Dora.
Possible Sanjuku upgrade there for Michael with the 4-5-6. We'll go ahead and hedge the shape here, keeping 6 blocks.
It's a little difficult to anticipate that ending up becoming the Sanchoku, because most good improvements will lead you to cut the other Kanchan, even with the overlapping shape.
I don't know, if you drew 5-so or 5-pin first, I might greed.
Yeah, you could. That would definitely be the greedy option, though.
Yes, the other thing is, you see a 9-mon out, but at the same time, the 9-mon looks okay in the wall. The only way you feel bad about it is, the only way it's not coming out, is if like was happening in this hand. Someone just has it paired up.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a lot more incentivized to take the 5/6 Kanchan over this Gemin if I see more Nisos. Or 9 mon, rather. Ooh, now you have the Jiangkan shape, and that will convince
Yeah, it
Michael
just
that
says we're going to play efficiency from here. The problem is I don't think that helps much because there's only one 3-pin left.
that's a good point, yeah. Yeah, I think I prefer, because of that, holding on to that Force Soap, but it's very
Right.
natural
Normally, I
to...
think this is the right cut, but with
Mm-hmm.
just the board state, it's not that helpful.
And we'll continue to give Michael pairs.
Do you pawn and go? I would.
At
Like, I
this,
hate the shape of this hand now. I just want to come up with something. I'd have pawned that.
yeah, at this
As
stage of the
bad as
game,
it is here.
even if it's just for K10, you could absolutely consider
Yeah,
calling.
you could justify that. Plus, when you see all three of the 3-pin, you could even say 1-2-pin are my safe tiles here. Because
Yeah,
it's Sotogawa on the left, it's Sotogawa and Gimbutsu on the right, and now
홈,
even the 2-pin isn't being taken. And yeah, so if you're gonna call the 2, I really think the 6 should have been called.
Well, we do have a Dama Tempa on the left for Chitoi, just Chitoi.
Just G-Toy on the 7-mon. There is none left in the wall.
No,
You selected the incorrect donkey.
as is the case so many times with the Chitoi hand. Or
Well,
was
No.
it?
there you go. Got it anyway. Will just be a cheap 1600, but in first place will gladly take that win and move to East 3.
Exciting.
All right, Dealer Zhongyu has a Dora, pretty good shapes here, maybe Itsu even, with this 1112358 so on the right. Few pairs, bunch of pairs in Manzu, but the rest of the hand looks much more standard. So might even go Tanya, cutting the 9-mon pair. Across the way, Pinfu type hand, nothing fancy here. 345 Sanjaku, maybe you have a 467 so. 2 so is Dora indicators, so maybe just anything around the 4 so gives you a Dora. And on the left, we have a Haku Anko and maybe Chanta, maybe even Sanjaku Chanta with the 789 looking pretty good here.
Ooh, big pull in for Shangyu. Improves these shapes to what looks to be a future Entotsu weight or Samenchan. Regardless, going to be a good weight.
All right, well, not really any progress except for the dealer here who's looking very good.
치,
There's a Chi. Yeah, that definitely looks like a Chanta.
이치,
This is Tempai with the Intotsu. 8-pin 1-4 so. This is Richidora 1 for Zhongyu. Great hand here. You figure the 1's pretty good. The 4 is near Dora, so that's not great,
치,
but even the 8 doesn't look that bad. And we see a Chi to interrupt the Ipatsu across the
치,
way. Probably just going Tanyao.
스모,
And on the... Oh, just Sumo.
Chi Chi draws Toyman's tile, and that is good for the 2000 all.
Yeah, you'll take that every time. And gets a much worse hand. This has a Dora, and that's about all I can say about it. Kanchan, Kanchan, Kanchan.
With 7 tiles in a
Enjoy.
pair towards Kokushi.
Yeah, sure. Speaking of hands, though, on the right we have a Haku pair, which is Dora, so that's a call and go hand for sure. Across the way, Pinfu, nothing fancy there. And on the left, Hatsu pair, probably call and go. There's not really any value in this hand anyway. Maybe a Chi-Toy if you pair up another time. I think that has 4 currently. But the best hand is very clearly the one on the right here.
Ooh, yeah. With 2 Dora, it's
You
gonna
just
be
have 2 door. You have to look at the rest of the hand. Sure, it
right.
has a penchant. A couple of the shapes aren't really completely fleshed out, but you have Dora.
홈,
And now you have a Dora pawn.
Insta Ishanten.
Important tile is going to be the 7-mon, of course.
1 discarded, 1 held, so 2 in the wall.
Yishunten on the left.
홈,
I like the pawn here.
Oh,
This gives you a lot of flexibility.
yeah, I like the Pwn cut 6-pin a little bit better, but the Pwn I think is good.
Yeah, I think I like six pin well because then you can pair up the 4 or the 5. And we have a Dama now on the left for no Yaku.
Yeah, Richinomi bad weight against a revealed
Oh, if you
Mongon.
Dama, you cut the 1-2 here. Cuts the 5. Okay, looking for the Peiko upgrade. Problem is there are 2 1-mon out and 1 in your hands, so.
Oh.
Oh no, this should be Tanya Sadako.
1
Could have slammed it though.
Says,
Rough
you know what?
weight.
It's fine. It's fine. This is a 3-5 Shampon where there's only 1-3 and 1-5 because you can see another one of those 5 discarded.
Oh man, you could continue to Dama in the hopes of drawing towards Suwako with a 1-mon or 2-mon. But the 1-mon is twice cut, and the 2-mon is once cut.
Tempai on the right. Which Tonki? Thinks about it for a while. Eventually cuts the 6 pin, waiting on the 7. So there's only one of those left.
One versus a
Well,
zero
now it's
versus
0. Do you
2.
switch? Do you ever switch? Nope. Throws it back.
Will Sanako actually pan out here?
No, there's Hill 2 on the wall. Oh, you have to switch now, don't you?
Does
No, it was
not.
afraid of the 7, so I think is what that was.
Yeah, Senso does look very suspicious here.
But that would have been a Gimbutsu wait on the 4 pin. I definitely would have switched.
Well, now you can
Well, 3 so is safe. 3 so is safe. I think you always throw 3 so here.
upgrade. Now there are some winning tiles. There's one winning tile.
Yes, 1 4 so in the wall.
And the 3-mon was drawn by Danny, so that means only one
A
5-mon.
5 mon. 1 versus 1 now.
12 tiles. Who does the wall favor?
And there's that 1 pin. Of course, we didn't know what
Khan.
the dealer would have. Oh, Khan for sure.
One pin new door, not relevant here.
That is a ton of foo now, potentially.
Oh!
Sumo.
Oh, gets the Sadonko!
Holes in the final 5-mon?
Riichi Sumo Sananko. The Khan doesn't do anything, but does get a Mungon off of it. So a big win there for Michael. Will jump into first place.
Oh man, this is the excitement that we're expecting from this table.
What's kind of our motto here? Just Sumo.
Just Sumo indeed. And we'll see if Andrew can just Sumo his way back to the 30k start. It's going to be tough with this high fight,
Doesn't
though.
really have a good hand to do that, though. When your best suit is a 1-2-6-6-8, it just, ugh. Has a Dora, and similarly to another head we had earlier, that's about the best thing I can say about it.
Yeah, and
On the right, we have the...
someone opens their hand, and you know you're just not finishing this hand.
Yeah, well, the hand on the right could call as well. Has the Anko of the South Yaku High. Probably looking for a little more value, though. Across the way,
Home.
probably just a Richinomi hand. And on the left says, nope, we're going fast. We have 2 door. We don't have to think. We hit shiny button.
All the shiny buttons. Chi, Pon, Kan?
I mean, if I got it, I'd do it.
Home.
There goes the Dora, and
Ooh.
now all of a sudden the table goes, uh-oh. I do not like the 5 so cut. I think you don't need to brute force this toy.
Yeah, this
I
is
like keeping the 9 pin because it's just super annoying for anyone to use, but I don't think this 1-mon does anything in this hand.
yeah, particularly when it's twice cut. You can see one has been discarded by Michael, another one is the door indicator, so not the best toy tile anyway. And Xiangyu, of course, realizes that and discards it immediately.
We do have that Ishan 10 on the right as well, with great shapes.
I wonder if Danny draws into Tempai, if there will be a Ricci, or if the manga is too scary. Ricci non-Dora is pretty good value though.
Well, that's Tempai, all right. I think you
Beachy.
reach you just because the 9-pin looks so good. Oh, and now you're waiting on the last 8-pin, which is in the dealer's hand.
Oh my.
I think the problem here is if that 7-pin ever pairs up, this just always deals in. This is Ricci non-Dora 1. And dealer has a real decision to make. There isn't much that's safe here. But with a couple 2-pin out, I don't mind the 1 cut.
It's not like 7-so is safe here, but your Tempai. And draws around the 7-so, are, a lot of them are 50-10. So we'll just keep pushing.
Would you have sheed the 4-so?
I'm thinking about that right now.
I would have.
It's hard to imagine the 5-so becoming safe with it being twice cut already, so. But you do miss out on a draw that potentially gets you something safe.
Oh, is that Tempai?
Not if we drop
No.
the 8.
It
I think if
would
we
have, yeah,
drop
it
the
would have been
8-pin,
Tempai if you deal in and wait on that 4-so that you didn't call.
right? And now there are no 4-sos.
And we'll be glad that the 8-pin was not shoved when you see that.
Oh.
Oh, the 9-pin pairs up, so the 7 comes out.
Beach.
This one will be taken on a dead
This
weight.
is a Kara Tenrichi. There are no winning tiles.
That's asserting authority right here. I'm not afraid
That's
to take this
donating
fight.
a stick to the middle. I don't mind taking the Tempai, but I don't think the Ricci makes any sense there. May just not have noticed all 4 of them there. But we are going to get 3 players Tempai. And Andrew will repeat dealer here, getting Tempai there at the very end. Has a few pairs, but I think it's just a Tanya hand. On the right, it's a Pinfu hand, but kind of a slow one. Across the way, similarly, it's a Pinfu hand, kind of a slow one. Also, the floating Dora. Actually, no, I take that back. There's an East pair there. You just call and go, plan to go Dora Tanki. On the left, that's maybe a 789 Sanshugu hand eventually, but going to require a lot of draws to do almost anything with that hand. It's one of those weird hand shapes where it wants to go like 4 different directions and you don't know which one is right. We go Junchan, we just go efficiency. Do we get a Chun pair up? Is there even an Itsu here? There are just so many routes for a hand like that, and you have to just start eliminating them from turn 1, and you don't like to.
Yeah, it looks like efficiency is the current plan. But it seems rather slow with all the Conchons. In the meantime, Michael opening up twice is now Ishanten with good shapes. Unsurprisingly quickly into Tempai, waiting 3-6 mon.
And there it goes. Will just be the 1,000-point hand, but with the pot having 2,300, big win there for Michael. Jumps into first place. We head into South round.
Alright, Danny now back in the dealer's seat.
Has a Yakuhai, and there it goes. Calls it. Just trying to get cheap hand out of this. There's no value here. You can accept a Dora later, but now you can't even really do that because I think you got 5-so here. Like maybe you draw the 6, cut 9, and plan for Dora Tanki. But I think just anything is good enough. On the right, Chun pair, couple other pairs. Could go Chi-Toy, but I think that similarly you play it normally. And I might have even pawned that 8-mon. What do you think of pawning 8-mon?
I think the shape's good enough that I don't want to yet, but there is like a potential toy, a small toy.
There is. If you don't have a Dora, I think I'd always call it. I think you can go either way with this as is.
Yeah, I mean, there's also 6, 7, 8 Sancho possibilities.
Across the way, Tanya Pinfu hand has a couple extra pairs there as well. And on the left, South pair can just call and go, presumably, but dealer's already Tempai waiting on 7-so. And will just be Hakunomi.
Hakunomi, it's a little sad that the sticks from the middle were already lost, but you get to retain your dealership this way. June yet to be seen, South yet to be seen. Outside of of course, the pairs held.
Yeah, there's still 3 of them in the wall. Ooh, here's a real decision point. I think you just cut 6 pin for now. Yeah. So the question is, when are you going to cut chewed chewed, basically?
Right. This definitely feels like it's going to be a rechi, unless you can cheat the 6 mon.
Ooh, that's a real interesting draw. You might even break Tempai with that draw. But goes ahead and keeps it.
Yeah, I think there was also an interesting decision on the 8mon earlier. We really were thinking about a Honitsu potentially. Could have tried keeping it there.
Just Sumo, so definitely the right play to keep the Tempai there. And we'll get 1,500 out of it and a repeat dealer turn in first place now.
Yeah, that lead has been bouncing back and forth.
Well, no one has 40 or 50,000 in this game, so you kind of expect it to bounce back and forth quite a bit. But dealer here is Danny with a potential 567 Sanjuku or Ipeiko. Can also accept Dora, and just this game feels like it's had a lot of hands that want to pair up a lot.
Mm.
On the right, we have maybe a Honitsu, but maybe a regular hand, kind of hedging both here. And that 4-mon will definitely push it more towards a regular hand. The shapes are bad, the value's bad, but maybe accept a door and improve that pin shape from a 1-3 to a 3-4. Cross the way. Haku pair, 2 Dora, don't need to see anything else. That's a good hand, call and go. And on the left, Non has been called, Chun will be called the instant it can, and has a floating Dora there.
Yeah, South call non and Chun potentially leads you to believe that Honitsu is a possibility, but the 7mon left already, so playing instead for this door acceptance.
Possible Sanjku now on the left as well, if you end up using Chun as your pair.
1
Yeah, we'll just take.
Interesting choice. Do you
Home.
like cheating the 6?
I mean, Sanjuku is not guaranteed, and we still have some value routes. We can draw the 6mon, we can pair up the Dora, so I don't mind
Yeah,
it.
I think I'd call this, and then if Chun comes, I just wait Dora Donkey.
Yeah, that sounds fine to me.
And there's the deal
Done.
in. The problem is when you're at this point, every hand is a resource. You don't really want to be winning 2,300. But if that's all you can get, that's all you can get.
Right, and maybe you're preventing somebody, your closest competition, for example, from winning a big hand. At least now it's within Mongonsumo range for Andrew.
Now, Michael is dealer here, and ooh, that's a nice fill. Great shape in Pinzu. Would love a couple 3-so, or even a 7-8 mon, but pretty good hand altogether. On the right, hard to read that hand. I'm trying to figure out what you'd want to do with it. Maybe Peiko in upper mon. You have 2 Dora, but it's not really a callable hand.
That means
That's one of those hands I look at it and
Home.
stare at it for like my entire timer when I'm starting the game because I'm just not sure what I'm supposed to do with it.
maybe you have to end up sacrificing a Dora eventually.
Home.
It feels like that's where this hand's going, is you're just gonna have to cut a Dora. But we'll move this towards Ishan 10 now for potential reach pin Fu Dora. Dealer is also Tempai for Tanya Nomi. Could switch here to the 147 where 1 is no Yaku. I would throw this back.
The Chuso looks really tempting as a weight.
Yeah, I think the Tusa looks pretty good. We'll go ahead and take the 147 though. Across the way, that is a Tanya type hand. You're probably gonna have to cut the 9-9 so anyway, so that's why I figure it's Tanya. On the left, Pinfu type hand, and this is one of those things I always talk about, is if you have a 7 Mondora indicator, it's going to be the most in-demand tile, because everyone is going to get stuck with 8-9s in their hand.
Great opportunity here for Michael to swap away from the potential no Yaku side, so no longer worried about drawing one pin and finding himself in 50-10.
Yes, now it is just a 4-7, and a 7 is drawn across, and it feels like it's a matter of time before Andrew deals it.
Unfortunately, it won't be that expensive, and it will be a dealer hand, which means you're not losing a hand by dealing in. You get to replay it.
Oh, well, that draw allows you to
Don't.
pair... Oh, never mind. There it goes. I don't like that cut. I think I'd have cut the tiles near the Dora and just locked my Dora pair in, because you could have cut 7 mon, 5 mon,
Hmm.
and had Ryanman Ramen for Ricci Pin Fudor too. But we'll deal in, and that will give Michael another dealer hand here. Has a decent hand with a Yakuhai pair with the Haku and a Dora. So this feels like a hand where you're hoping to go Dora Tonki, or better yet, pair it up yourself and not have to worry about it. Oh no, just throws the Dora immediately.
Interesting. Especially with a Yakuhai
Uh,
in hand, it feels.
yeah, I don't like that. I think you could go any of nine pin or one so even. But I don't like throwing the door that early. This may just be a situation where in first doesn't want to have it hang around any longer than have to.
Hmm.
But I'd certainly be a little more greedy with it. On the right, we have a double south pair up, so probably just call and go there. Even Toy routes now with a 2-pin pair up. You have the Anko of the 7th, so pair up with the 8 mon. You figure that's reasonably easy to call. Across the way, possible 2-3-4 Sanshoku. Might just be Tanya. Richi Tanya looking very good now.
After
And on the left, 678 Sanshoku, Ricci, Pinfu, Tanya, Sanshoku looking very good there too.
oh, and all these pairs of very interesting tiles, and while cutting the tune pair, which I quite like with these shapes.
The term that's been used before is Toitsubo, which is that situation where everyone just pairs up. Well, it usually refers to a hand. I feel like it's been this whole game.
Mm. Now, we did see Danny win a Chitoy earlier in this game. Tempai for Andrew, though.
Well, Dama here doesn't want the Formon Kanchan for Richinomi, and there the Formon goes.
Yeah, maybe feeling a little bit of regret for cutting the 2-mon instead of the 1 so earlier. Oh, and there's another pair for Michael.
Well, now you
Ooh.
just take the 3-sided Ricci. You can Dama if you want to pass on the 9 pin. Or this is just Tanyao, but I think you have to Ricci. And instead, like, here's the problem. So I guarantee
No.
you this was an I can get Sanshoku. And then the winning tile comes out and you go, oh, oops.
Yeah, that is direct off dealers. That would make things quite close moving
Yeah, it will
into
be enough to
semi.
jump into first place, but I feel there were points left on the table there. Because you're going to end up drawing something on that 3 side eventually, most of the time.
Yeah, you have more draws towards the win than you do towards the upgrade, value upgrade.
Right. All right. So deal here is going to be Zhang Yu has an Anko of 3 so. I mean, that just means it's good, right?
Right.
Okay. Rest of the hand is just kind of a Tanyao mess. Can accept a Dora maybe. Well, now it can definitely accept a Dora with the 7-8 pin where 6 is Dora. The rest of the shapes still leave a lot to be desired. On the right, 4-4-5-5. So either a 3 or a 6 in Monzu would give you an Ipeco route. And this feels like play efficiency and go. Across the way, dreaming of Daisangen, especially with those cuts.
Yeah, one's cut Haku, one's cut Shun, but it's still alive.
And probably also hedging the Chanta. I was going to say hedging the Honitsu, but throws the 3-pin right back. Really thinks this is the Chanta hand.
Maybe that 8 so draw that will just about confirm it.
Well, you can see the hesitation, and eventually just cuts the north. So definitely expect this to be Chanta, apparently. And dealer is now Ishan 10. Possible Sun Anko. Oh, no, doesn't take it. I think that should just always be Tuso.
7.
Feels like 2 so is good here. I'm wondering, it's also one's cut, so it'd be a little tricky. Perhaps just looks good in the wall as a Suanko tile.
And on the left for Michael, 567 Sajgo looking pretty good here. Also need Peiko if you get the 5 mon.
Ooh, tough Kanchan shapes. Maybe
Has
Maldo.
Ryankan in one and Sankan in the other. Cuts from the 2 mon to lock in the Peiko with the 44566. But I think I definitely would have cut the 9 pin instead. even with 2 3-pin out, you're not really worried about that. Oh, well, ew. Because, yeah, like you draw that, and now you're thinking, what do I do now?
Draw 7 mon and 5 so. Oh, can't even do that anymore.
Do you just cut 3-pin? I think you do.
Yeah. Holds for the door acceptance.
봄,
Now, I'm going to take the shape that doesn't give you a Peiko. So this is a cheaper, but I believe slightly more efficient route.
Yeah, because at least this still accepts the 7 mon.
And speaking of 7 mon, we have Dealer
Boom.
Dama for Ipeco Dora 2 with Suanko upgrades.
Wow.
봄,
Tempai across the way for Hatsu Dora 1 on 2 mon.
2 mon, 2 left. 7 pin, one, all held or discarded.
And on the right, we might see a con. There's the con. Uh-oh. Well, that's just going to deal out on the right, isn't it? Nope. Gets away from it for now. It's just a 3-6 on the right for Tanya Nomi.
Can Andrew once again shut down a monster? Oh, that 2 mon.
No, deal. That's going to deal in. I don't know how you
No.
get away from that.
Yeah.
And there's so much food here with the con.
2 and
You see
60.
60 food, so it's an extra full on. That's going to put Danny into a reasonably strong first place going into all last. But Andrew's dealer here has a very good start again here. 2, 3, 4 Sanshoku particularly looking good. Also potential Itsu and Mon. The 2-pin just a floating tile right now, but it's also a floating Dora, which always makes things better. On the right, 4 pairs. That may just be a toy hand, especially the June pair. As a call and go across the way. It's a Tanyao. You're looking to cut the pinch on and the 9-pin anyway, so I think you just call and go. There's the June pawn as expected. On the left, looking for the question of Itsu or Chinitsu or both.
Both sounds good. But you do have to give up
Always a fan of both.
the 5-6 so.
Well, you're
well,
that's Tempai. We'll just Dama this for Pinfu.
Each.
This should not be a Dama, period.
봄,
Well, I don't think
You
we're gonna
need that.
dumb
Well,
anymore.
now you can get away with it, but it should never have been a Dama because the Ricci stick itself would have gotten you over.
종,
And see, you didn't win the extra points there. I feel it's a bad Dama. I could at least see some argument for it after the stick came out, but I feel that was again points left on the table.
Yeah, unfortunate also for Andrew. Had a quick Ricci, just wasn't fast enough. He will be eating the bonus Umo loss here of minus 35.2, but
Yeah, those really hurt. But Danny in first place with 25.1. In second, Michael 9.9. In third, Zhang Yu on the end there getting that plus 0.2. And in fourth is going to be Andrew at the minus 35.2.
Okay, standing's a little slow to update here, but that will leave Zhang Yun about the same space as Andrew now, even up around 8th and 9th place. And Michael and Danny, 2 players who were in the negatives before this game, moving up in the standings.
All right. Well, there are some other games we can look at. Let's see. What do you think of that B1 game?
Let's see, B1-5 with Nathan Harrison, Eric, and James.
That sounds fun.
All right, and I think we might even have a commentator swap as Jackie has been so kind to volunteer the time. So I will make way for Jackie. We will also maybe take a minute to set up that game. So quick break, and when we come back, we'll have that very exciting looking B game for you. Be back in just a moment.
And welcome back, everyone. I see we're staring at the stat sheet, not the game. There
Come.
we go. And we come right into a con. Can't complain about that. I think that was a
Eat.
missed. Oh no, there was that north
No.
pair. And there's the con deals in immediately with that six spin. And Dora 3 there. Cons into 2 extra Dora. And Harrison just deals into a Mongon right off the bat. But this is quite. I'm now joined by a different commentator, Jackie. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. But I just got a recently good hand on the dealer 10, really likely each chance at the table and it's 2 10 already, with the chance to accept Dora as well.
All right. Eric is dealer here. Yeah, you can get that Itsu, Dora acceptance. Lots of ways to go with that. On the right, though, that's the exciting hand. That's looking towards that Suonko. Minimum
Definitely,
Toy Toy.
definitely. But speaking of a hand, we can see that Ishihime, the Nathan's already 10 pie here,
Lychee.
to be fair, and just slams the button waiting for the Shampoo for the extra Yaku is the Hatsu.
Yes, Ricci, Haku, Dora 2, maybe Hatsu. And even Eric here has a great hand with a Ishunten looking for any sort of connection with an Itsu already guaranteed, but gives it up immediately. I think you just shove if you're dealer.
Um, I mean, I don't think that I think it's better to just go for the game to safer option. 3 minus Suji, so it might pass, but again, it's still E3
No.
that you have to be cautious. But that Hatsu instantly losing for the Taka. Or is it?
Ricci, Haku, Hatsu, Dora 2, no Ura, but there will be another Bangan deal in. And now we are going to have James deal here. A couple really quick changes as we join this game. And James has maybe Honitsu. I think you just go Honitsu with this. Maybe a hedge towards regular hand, especially if you're like 4 pin. But 66778 is definitely going to push me towards Honitsu when it's in the Dora suit. On the right, 789 Sanchiku looks pretty good. Also has a Dora Kanchan there with Tuso, Forso, Tuso being Dora across the way. Is that a Kokushi attempt?
It may well be, but we can wait. We can wait. Suizo might have some. Okay, he might
Might
be
just
able
be
to push for
Honroto.
Honsu. Yeah,
Yeah,
Honoto
lots of
looks
ways to go
fine.
with this
Yeah.
hand. On the left, that is Ishan 10 for Richidora 1. Not the greatest shapes, but it looks reasonably fast. And speaking of fills, there's a 3 so on the right. Now, Ishan 10 there with potential either 4-7 pin or 9 so 9 mon Shampon.
Okay, so
Oh, you definitely take this. You
Harrison.
absolutely
Lychee.
Richi this. And
Yeah,
there's the Tempai 9 so
mm-hmm.
9 mon Shampon for Richidora 1.
Definitely, you definitely take that, especially with that early summon discard rather. I mean, a so discard rather. It kind of based the nine so up, but it's stuck in Harrison's hand.
Yeah, the problem is Harrison has so many safe tiles, and if he's ever pushing, he's not going to shove the nines. And if he's folding, he's going to cut the south and the Hatsu first. So maybe he eventually deals in, but I think he's going to shove for a while. And 6 mon is definitely a shove. He may also be a little tilted after back-to-back Mongon deal ends.
Of course, it's still useful, so he has the chance to catch up. And if he gets this Hong Lotto hand, then
No, he's not thinking Honroto. He'll take Honroto if it comes, but he's
uh,
thinking Kokushi.
maybe Chitoi.
I also don't like that cut. You should just throw the 4-mon. It's Nakasuji.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's
Yeah.
folding. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mentioned that we have an Ishan 10 on the left for potential Richi Pin Food or 1.
Mm-hmm.
And dealer working here towards a Tanya, maybe Sananko.
Mm-hmm.
Now the real question is, where are the 9mon? And there it is. Just had to say something, apparently. Richi, Sumo, Dora, no Ura, but Nathan picks up a nice little Sumo there to get over 50k as we enter South Round.
Mm-hmm.
Will be dealer here has great shapes here. Potential Sanshoku Ipeiko Tanyao with a Dora as well. Great shapes everywhere. Well, now how do you play it? There's so many ways to maneuver this hand. You have 4-4, 6-6, 8-8, so and Chun pair, and probable 5-6-7, 4-5-6 Sanshoku in the other two suits.
That's true. Across the table, I feel that, to be fair, that, Eric decides to discard the 8-9 so
Yeah,
maybe
he just wants to get rid of the penchant
pushing
in
for
there. He'd love
Itsuo
a
or
one
Tanyao.
pin. He'd love a one pin to get this into an Itsu shape. I wonder on the 5 so whether you just think it's a little too early. But okay, that gives you a potential
Ipeiko.
up Ipeiko, but not really. Like I'm not thrilled with that. Now if I get the one pin, sure. But it does also give you the route to the Itsu Ipeiko, which is always a sad thing to have Itsu and Ipeiko and not Shinitsu. Because it means your pair is offsuit.
That is true, but he still maintains a Ishan 10 with really wide acceptance.
Oh, for sure. Harrison's hand slowly developing, but probably not going to be fast enough for the rest of this table. On the left, Chun pair up there as well. So dealer and the player on the left both have that pair locked. And it may just be a Chitoy, though, for James.
Yeah. I think Nathan's considering Cheeto as well is that 6-man shove.
Well, now I definitely go Chitoy. That one mon is just, it's hard to do anything else. Either Chitoy or Toy Toy now. And yeah, throws the tile that would have accepted Dora, so it seems to be thinking the same thing. Harrison, technically Ishan 10 looking for the Itsu upgrade. Problem is those 6 mon, a couple of them are held across.
Okay, now
Well, there's Chitoy
Ryuchi.
Tenpai
5
waiting on Dora. That's an easy slam.
Yeah, 2 left in the wall there.
Tenpai for Harrison as well on the Intotsu. 5
Mhm.
mon and then 6-9
5,
mon.
6, 9, yeah. Decides to not go for it.
Just throws it back. He wants it to, or at least Ipeiko from this. Oh, we have Suanko Ishan 10 on the left now. This should be 3 mon.
Through that. Yeah, 3-man looks good, yeah. That's shove it. Now what to do?
Well, he shoved the 5 last turn and seems to have
Yeah.
kind of given up on this. We now have a
That's true.
Dama across the way.
Wait. 5 pin drawn by
5
James.
pins
What he
Dora.
doing?
You can't throw that.
No. That's to discard 1 pin.
Yeah, it's a Tanyao Dora 2 across the way on
Sumo.
Gimbutsu 6.
Yeah,
Oh, just
still-
Sumo! That's going to be Hanemon minimum. Ritu Sumo Chitoy Dora 2. Dora is Baimon. Doesn't get it, but Nathan in amazing position. 68,600. And we're just in South 1.
That's true. He still has his dealership and he can inflict a lot of emotional damage to the other players as well. Like just getting that big extra hand that just solidifies his position in the promotion places.
Yeah, this is a really big game for Nathan where he is. Is Christian right on the heels there, but even so, just getting a positive 100 in general over the course of the season, he's usually going to promote you.
Yeah, so as you can see, Eric just smoke it the north wind. And Nathan's hand does seem rather stable, but he has that trim pair to get a melt, but it's Moshi Moshi with James. As we see James draws that 5 pin, cuts the 8 pin out. Over across the table, I don't think anyone has a really quick hand, to be fair. Especially we have the trim pairs for both of them. But James has a solid progression towards a lychee hand.
Yeah, James also gets a nice little improvement there with the 4 so, can also accept Dora.
Yeah, but Nathan's Ishan turn now, waiting on the 1-3-4 so and then 6 pin.
Well, you're figuring just going to call the tune if it comes. The problem is it's locked up, although you can't
Yeah.
possibly know that.
Yeah,
Just got the 5 pin here.
Decides to cut
Cuts the
7 first.
7. So same
Yeah, I
idea,
like.
but not really believing in the Peiko given 2 9s are out and 8s out.
Yeah,
Makes sense?
yeah, I do like that card as well. It just opens up the possibility of drawing like a 4 pin or something like that.
Well, that's a nice upgrade there on the left for
Yeah,
James,
the
but goes ahead
June
and cuts the
discard.
June. Says, you know what, I don't really want to play for the Tune 8 Mon Champon. I definitely would have cut
Yeah.
5 pin there. Maybe
Uh,
5 Mon. Well,
yeah, I
this
think
would have
James.
been Tempai, but
Yeah, I think James is aiming for like a pin shape as well, and the time. I
well,
think
yeah,
the
Rishi,
time pin.
Pinfu, Tanya, Dora, maybe a Peiko appears to be the plan here. Across the
Mhm.
Done.
way, well, doesn't matter. That's a deal in.
Yeah, shut down James's any hope. And we are into home bar.
Dealy here with a kind of a mess of a hand, a few pairs, but not much else. Some Yakuhai hoping to pair up. On the right, Pinfu shape. You have a Dora. There are far worse hands. That's a pretty good start for each Pinfu Dora. Across the way, Pinfu, maybe 2 3 4 Sanshoku in there. Also has a Dora on the left. Similarly, it's just a Pinfu, maybe a 5 6 7 Sanshoku. Can also accept Dora as well. Maybe go Tanya with it if you draw, say, 4 pin.
Mhm.
At the same time, those 4 pin are pretty well used. So there are 3 in hands, and I don't think any of them are coming out, judging by these hands.
It is fair enough. As we see, Nathan's hand also progressing with that, with a south pair, easy point into each one turn or something. But he has a lot of floating tiles waiting to be discarded. But like he
Well,
has
that
like a
fixes a
dilemma
lot
of
of your
choosing what
problems.
tiles to discard at the moment.
It gives you the
He has to
ability
cut
to
it to
just
4
go
pin.
for Dora now, so you don't have to worry. I'm surprised 2 pin is cut. I think I'd have cut 2 Mon. It doesn't do anything in this hand. The 2-4 has a lot of upgrades, and then you just have the 9 you figure are going to come out anyway. I think I'd have kept the 2-4.
Definitely, but he does have 4 pairs, which means that he has a chance to progress to a Toy hand with that 2 man pair if he still keeps it.
Or just Cheetoy. Worked out pretty well not that many hands ago.
Yeah, now Eric gets a draw too, decides on what to do. Mike decides to not push for the hard Hoinsu, still keeps it for a Cheetoy 2 Shanten.
Ishanten for James. Now looking for Ricci Dora 1.
Mm-hmm.
Chi.
Call for
That's
Tanya
6
across the way
Chi.
by Eric.
Yeah. Tanya draw 2, it seems like that's the plan.
Well, the problem is you have this 2 3 4 shape you're going to need to fill in Monzu, but you can't use the 1 Mon anymore.
That is true, but again, 4 man is not gonna be discarded by Harrison anyways. So he has to draw himself. If he doesn't wanna end up with like a one man wait, that might put him in Fullerton. This has to cut 1 sweeping from Harrison. Now, still 2 Chanton
Big
from
upgrade for Nathan here. Gets the Anko.
Yeah. That is true. But he still needs to cut one of the pairs. Okay, now what to do? Might just go for Toy Toy or
Might
even
go 9 so
Suanko.
9 so.
Yeah, this has
Oh,
to cut a
just
5
throws
6.
away
So
from the Dora shape. I don't like this. I'd throw 9 so 9 so. I don't think there's anything wrong with the 3 6 shape here. Or the 4 7.
yeah, that is true though. But I think Nathan's have enough points already, so he probably looking for like a
Home.
greedier option, knowing that even if he doesn't win this hand, it still wouldn't matter as much. But this has created not so greedy option by opponent the South win.
Yeah, and definitely going for the greedy option here. You do have 1 2 Mon out, so you figure the 2 5 may be in real demand. Well, now it's
Okay, now
Tempai. I think you just
Tenpai.
take it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm low key looking to see if Nathan decides to push for that hardcore Honitsu by discarding the 9 so pair, choosing not
I
to.
don't think
He
so.
wants to
Sumo.
get a Tenpai.
Well,
Yeah,
definitely
that's
not
exactly
now.
what. Yeah, so it's 3 Honba now, Ishihime. Nathan with like a huge 73 points advantage heading into 3 Honba South 1. And the hand
Nathan has
across
a
the table doesn't look pretty for either of the players. Like looking across the
Yeah,
table,
the
Nathan
hands all
can
stink. Dealer has a Pinfu type hand, but it's slow. On the right, yeah, it's just Kanchan's everywhere with a 3-5-7-9. Across the way, it's a very weak Pinfu, but it does 2 Dora. So if you can just call and go, that's probably the best hand. On the left, it's what, 3 pairs and nothing else?
that is true, especially if he has a pair of the East Wind, which is of no use at the moment.
But Eric's putting himself in the same position he's in the last hand, where he has this 2-3 and needs to get the 4 specifically if you open. And it's even worse now because the 4 is the door indicator.
That is true. But he can definitely push for like a Menping at least.
Well,
Now
now
it's 2.
just Ishan 10. I'd cut 2, so.
Yeah. It has a chance of progressing to a E2 if he gets the Cecil
Exactly.
as
That's
well.
why you don't go with a 2-3. Plus, I mean, you want to keep the Dora there.
Yeah.
You have Ryanma. There are all sorts of reasons here. Now, that
Mhm.
other 2-so cut's a little more interesting.
Yeah, I think it's just that
리치
Okay, ends
that
up in the same place anyway. Doesn't matter. Riichi Pin Foodora 2, 1 4-mon weight. The 4-mon is 1 left, the 1-mon is 3 left.
yeah. So personally, when you have a Llama Tenpai, for some players, they rather keep like a rather safe tail, so that even when they get to Tenpai, they can easily chase knowing that it wouldn't deal in. So it's just
Yeah,
like a
and
safe
that's
option.
definitely something I'll do, especially towards the end of row 1, which is when that was taken. I just feel there's a lot of value upgrades if you draw 3 so. And even if you don't get a value upgrade, you get a huge weight shape upgrade
Yeah.
with a
So one of
potential
the
3-sided.
one man being drawn by Harrison, so 2 left in the wall now.
And Harrison, you can tell he wants to push this 1-mon.
It chooses not to at the for now. Cut paper
Takes
to
more
for
disciplined
50.
fold.
Yeah, another
And is
one man drawn by
rewarded.
Harrison.
Now Ishan 10 with a lot of ways to get to Tempai.
Mm-hmm.
That is not what you're looking for, though.
No. Now
There's
4 man
another
stand and
Four-mon, so just 1 out left.
yeah, and he's Tenpai now. Will he go for the Shampoo Lishi?
The 3-so did just clear, so I don't hate just slamming it here.
That's true. But to be fair, I think it's rather dangerous. But now you might choose it not to.
Well, there are 2 8-mon out,
Okay.
and there's your
As
3-so, and now you're
man is
sad. Well,
that's
that's
no
Tempai
reaction.
on the right for Ipeco.
Yeah.
Doesn't take it, though. Doesn't want to throw the 4-7 pin.
Yeah, but
And
now
now realize
that
it was
full ping
safe.
is safe. Yeah.
Oh, just
Sumo.
The
Sumo.
last one man does to move by.
Reach
Eric.
Sumo, Pinfu, Dora 2. Any Aura is Hanemon. Doesn't get it, though. Eric will jump out to second place at 27-3. And Harrison just barely floating above 0. Will be
Yeah,
dealer here, though, and South 2 has a South pair. Can accept a Dora. Hand is great, honestly.
that is a great hand. Harrison finally gets rewarded um by Tanaka or whoever designs Tenho software.
Tsunoda.
Tsunoda, thank you very much. Anyhow, now what to discuss? Maybe one so?
I'd throw it back. I'd throw the 6-0 back.
Oh yeah, that's fair enough.
You could also go the 1-3, but you don't really need 3 pairs. Even callable 3 pairs isn't that important here.
Yeah.
On the
Yeah,
right,
now
we have
Nathan gets
an
a
Anko
Dora.
with a 5-so, and a few other pairs. Probably play efficiency, maybe a Toy eventually. I mean, the dream here, of course, is 5 with Sancho Doko, but that may take some effort. Across the way, kind of a Pinfu hand, but not a very good one. You have Ryancon's probably your best shape. I guess there's this 5-6-mon as well, but ugh.
Yeah.
On the left, Hatsu pair and a Dora, so that's where let's call and go.
Now, I think Harrison
Boom.
might have his head on like a maybe like a 5, 6, 7 Sensoku if everything goes right. But the 6 or 8 month shape already in there, you definitely take it if it gets you 10 pi.
Yeah, and I think you have to call the South there too. You don't really want to sit around any longer.
No. Like I think this is the hand that you want to at least win and keep dealership.
I mean, I was kind of joking about Sanshku Doko on the fives, but it might happen.
It might happen, but yeah, there's one 5 pin in the wall, and there is one 5 mine in the wall as well, by the looks of it. Oh yeah, 5 mine's dead. So
Yeah,
5 pin,
five
there's
mon
one in the
is
wall.
dead. 5 pin is one on the wall.
Hmm. I don't see you. I don't. To be fair, James might be eyeing for 6 7 essential cool that 5 man might come out if everything goes right, but decides to cut the 5 man
Yeah,
from
Eric
Harris. So
kills the dream. No Doko.
mm,
Not that it was ever going to happen anyway. But
yeah,
there's
now 10
Senpai
5
for
for
Harrison,
yep.
and this may just deal in. There it goes, and you
He's
can't
doing it.
pass it. And Harrison, I'm sure, is like, I want a hand, finally.
That is gonna be the case for Harrison. Not the best game for him.
Not the best, but I mean, you'll take it. And now has a great hand again for Ricci Dora with
Yeah.
lots of potential value upgrades. And then you look at the right and you see, ooh, Konko of Chun and pair of Haku. So that hand's, and now you may even go Honitsu with it across the way. Kind of a Pinfu hand, and now you have a Hatsu pair. So the dragons are accounted for. And on the left, try to be a Pinfu type hand, but probably not. It's kind of hard to determine what that hand's supposed to be. I think you just play efficient and see what happens.
Just play efficiency and see what Tsunoda brings your way.
Now they're just looking for basically any sort of upgrade. We do see the Chun is not Daiming conned by Eric. I might have conned that one. Just because I don't like the shape, so I'm just looking for any extra draws or speed or value. Because you know you're opening this hand. I feel that pass is actually a very defensive play. And I don't like being defensive when fourth place is screwed like this at 2,400 points. I want to steal everything there is.
Yeah, especially that you're second place with the aim of getting about 30k. Opening the hand might be an advantage in that case. Whereas James decides to cut 1 2 mon.
Perfect
And
ace shun 10 on the left for Nathan now.
yeah,
Doesn't take it. Keeps the floating 5 pin.
I mean it's still Ishanten though.
Still ace shun 10. Ooh, interesting call by Harrison. Is just going to try and turn this into Tanya or Toy Toy. I don't like this. I know what he's doing, but I don't like it.
Yeah,
Unless he
now
draws
10
a
5
draw
for
like
Nathan.
this turn, it's like, what's your plan?
Yeah, 10 5 for Nathan. Will he
Yeah,
slam
that
it? Decides
doesn't
not to.
take it.
Yeah, wants to have that Dora acceptance around the 5 pin.
Yeah, it's just super greeting the entire game. And may end up giving Eric time to build this Sonanko.
Yeah, now there is the chance of
We have to
Harrison
go
going
9 mon, 9
for
mon
that.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no other play there for Harrison. Once you've gotten Tanya with it, you have to just go for it.
Yeah, but
7
knowing what Nathan's doing, he's not gonna discuss 6 pin.
No.
Might be a 9 pin cut. Yeah.
Well, you definitely can't cheat that.
No.
And we see Eric throw the 2
Yeah,
there,
now
keeps
the
the
grease
7-8-8. You have a
now
9
the greedy gets
Ichi.
rewarded with a full 7 pin for Tenpai here. Decide to cut a full so for Ichi.
Oh no, and I think it's just a matter of time before Harrison deals in.
He might not though. If he gets the 6 pin chi and then gets 2 5 pin, then the full 7 pin might not be able to come out.
No, he needs to draw 7 pins specifically, then he throws the 3.
That is true. But idea
Otherwise,
is
I think he just deals in.
that's true. But that 4 pin might deal in from Eric.
Eric also has a lousy hand, so may not even bother with it.
Might cheat us. He's
I
thinking
don't
about it.
think it helps. I'd pass.
No.
1
Okay, just go for it.
Ew, okay. I'm not sure what that did for him.
I think it's just he thinks that's neither 3-pin nor 4-pin is safe, so he cheats the 2-pin and discards that 4-5-pin, waiting for another 4 or 6-pin to fill in that Lenchan shape.
Okay,
Okay.
gets their attempt by Andorra now, so I guess it worked out. You do have the 3 still Onko, so the 5 doesn't look nearly as bad as it would normally. But the 4-pin, I believe, is dead. Yeah, it's dead.
Yes, it's dead, but it keeps
Versus the
Tenpai.
7, which is also dead. So we have 2 players both waiting on dead 4-pin.
Yeah, so provided that they do not change, provided that Harrison doesn't change the weight, we are going on to 2 Homba here.
Yeah, and I don't think Harrison ever changes the weight. He might decide to fold
Wait,
at some point, but I don't think he ever
okay, to the
changes.
dog to here, the white doesn't look that safe.
Yeah, and Eric has no reason to get involved here.
Mm-hmm.
This is almost certainly going to end in a draw. Five shows already cleared. Ugh.
Might be a sleeping shove.
He's
Neither
really
safe
afraid of
anyway.
this Suji. He might.
Okay,
Okay, he does throw the 6.
might be
7
chi here from Eric.
This
I
does
don't want
give the last draw to Nathan, but doesn't get it. Oh, if we waited on the Jean-Paul would have gotten it there. But we'll just be
I
2
think
players getting
I think
Tempai.
yeah, I think that's Eric's master plan to just try to see if Nathan can screw Harrison over further.
Well,
Didn't work
Nathan
out.
and Harrison are currently in position for promotion, but if the score's in like this, Harrison drops out and Nathan jumps way ahead.
Yeah.
And this hand's gonna be okay for Harrison. It has 4 pairs, but that's about all. 6 mon would really help it move towards a
Yeah,
more flexible hand. No, I said
yeah.
6 mon, not 6 bin. On the right, Chunonko. Well, that's the end of that. You just call and go, I think. You don't need anything fancy across the way. Pinfu,
Mhm.
nothing particularly helpful there. The 2-3 pins probably your best shape. The rest of it's kind of a mess. And on the left, again, the best hand by Nathan.
That is true, but it's also notable that the Dora itself, when no one has drawn it yet.
And
It'll be
another
interesting to
pair
see.
there. Oh, it's a Toitsuba hand. Everyone gets pairs. You get a pair. You get a pair, and you get pairs.
Yeah, it's interesting to see
There's
what
another
the.
one.
Yeah, so it's interesting to see what the players will react if they get. Okay, now it's cheat return high for Harrison.
Yeah. Well, the question is, will Harrison slam
1
this one waiting on 2-pin?
Uh,
The answer is
it
yes.
does
There are
it does
2 of
slam
them
the
in the
button.
wall.
Yeah, I think it's just a early dealer lead to just maybe scare the people off, and there might be a chance to like draw the 5-pin to lure people into discarding the Suji tail as well.
Well, the other thing is there just aren't too many tiles that really help you. This 8-pin would be a better upgrade, would be a better weight, I think, than the 2, just because you'd already cut the 6. But at the same time, it's not like the 2 is necessarily bad here. You just don't really expect it to ever come out.
No,
So
no,
I
no,
don't
no.
mind just slamming it here, especially 1300 already in the middle before you threw your stick in.
Of course, I think it's just one advantage of being a dealer, right? But
Oh, and now you feel bad because the
uh,
5-mon came.
yeah, that is true. But again, I think most people would choose to wait on the 2-pin here, eh, because
Oh, for
simply it's
sure,
yeah.
especially in Akanashi, where you don't have red 5s. You don't choose to wait on the 5.
Mm,
There are situations in Akaari where you'll take that one.
that is true. Yeah. We can see James also trying to maneuver his hand, keeping the Dora Southwind.
Yeah, maybe we'll go for the Tempai waiting on Nantonki if can get there. But the other question is, where are those 2-pin? There are 2 left still.
Yeah, 2 left still, and
Well, there's the south, so that's come out. I think just cut 9. I do not like the 2 there. This should have been 9 mon because it was just cleared by Nathan.
that is true. Maybe Everett didn't see that.
That would be my guess. I
Yeah, now
think that's something I've done before occasionally. Well, wait, that was safe. Oops. Because it does kind of destroy the hand now that was thrown.
mm, it does to a sense.
Yeah, so that's just a fold. Are we going to see a con here from Ishunten? Not yet. I feel that will likely be a con if Tempai is reached.
That is true. I don't think it'll be a wise choice to just give the dealer an extra
More
Dora
Dora
when
just
he
yet.
is literally, and you're not Tenpai.
Still no two. Well,
Okay.
there's the
Okay.
2-pin.
Okay. Now this has to discard 1 man. Good count.
Yeah,
So
that
one
was
two
a
pin left in
one
the wall.
chance with a 2-mon.
Ooh.
Throws the Suji 3 over the non-Suji 2. Here's been
Okay.
kind of unfortunate in that the 5 has not come out and cleared anything, or even just a bunch of tiles like the 3 earlier never came out either,
Mhm.
so that way you might end up with some sort of Kabe.
Yes. So that last 2 pin is in the
Oh,
dead
that
wall.
would have been a Tempai if you were willing to shove the 6-so. But not Cheed, so that's going to be Harrison picking up 3,000. And I'm sure bemoaning his fate of having to go for Chi-Toy. And is rewarded with a not particularly great hand. Has a floating Hatsudora, but that's about all. On the right, kind of a Pinfu hand, a bit of a mess. 8-pin and 7-mon, and 3-mon would really help, but it feels slow. Across the way, few pairs, another 4-pair hand. There's been so many. And on the left, a West pair, but not much else. I think you just play normal efficiency to see what happens. It's just a Pinfu hand. 3-so would really help, though. And most of the hands just really aren't budging yet. Six months are going to help quite a bit for Eric as an Itsu route now in Manzu.
Mhm.
Also, better chances for Tanyao if you get the 1, 2, and the 9 using the 8 as your pair.
Fair enough. This now Harrison decides to not wait for much longer. Decides to cut the Hatsudora
No, it's also
ahead
1
of the
south.
Southwind.
It's not that useful. I think I'd still cut south first. Because that's also 1 out and far less useful to you.
That is true.
No, I think that's just Tanya now for Eric.
Mhm.
But yeah, he definitely locks it in with the pairs there. The problem is, this is something we've seen a bunch from Eric, is he'll take the... and doesn't pull in the 8-mon. That's actually a bit of a surprise as well. But doesn't want the 1 4-pin Atazuke for Tanyunomi. But I don't really care about Atazuke when there's 2,900 in the middle.
Mhm.
That's want hands that can win.
1
Harrison trying to brute force this into a Tanyao.
Mhm.
And that's a pretty important draw there for Harrison. I think I might have cut 7-pin, though. Because there are routes to turn this into an Itsu. I don't think the 7 does that much. And that is Tempai on the right. This would be Furi 10 if you take the 1 4.
1
We'll take the Shampoo
2
2 Mon 6-pin. There's now only one of each visible to Eric and none actually live.
That is true, but he couldn't see that.
Well, he just didn't want the Furi 10 and then got the immediate backfire.
Mhm.
And Harrison's looking for any excuse to push.
Yeah. The problem is that he needs to discard 5, so that's not as safe. Okay, now it's Nagasuji, but 8-pin is not gonna be feeling as safe. Yeah, this has
Oh
got a similar that
no,
Chimama come out.
3-mon's really bad. Oh, I
Okay,
knew Stu was
now
in here.
no 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 oh, no 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 oh no no no
ドン
oh no 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 no.
Yeah, I did not like how that was played, but I understand wanting to get rid of the Otozuke, but at the same time, you have to be Tempai here. It's your last dealer turn. You don't
Mhm.
necessarily have to win, but you do have to be Tempai. But we are in South 3
Yep.
now, and Eric is dealer here, has a Pinfu type hand, also a floating Haku Dora. Of course, pair that up, you just call and go. On the right, maybe an Itsu
Boom.
in pin. Also distance 79 Sanchiku across the way, Pinfu across. Maybe a Tanyao if you get, say, 4 so and 5 pin. And on the left, Hatsupon, and just trying to shut the hand down, I guess. Doesn't really see any potential here. Just wants to get the 1,000 and at least try to keep everyone under 30k so that way won't have to pay out the full minus 20 here.
That is true. The thing is that I think that 6 pin draw earlier by Eric was the dream draw for him. It does kind of open up the opportunity for his hand. Like he might be able to wait for Hakutanki, or he might progress his hand to a painful shape. And across the table,
Ishantan on the right for Riichi
yeah.
Pinfu potentially if 7 pin is drawn.
Now also Ishan 10 falls Harrison as well, just if he wants to end this game quickly. Now
4
there's a
pin's an
chance for
interesting
Ipeiko.
draw. I kind of like just cutting to Penshon. Because you're at 20,000, you need a decent hand to get out of third place,
Now
or to
the powerful
30k.
pair,
Yeah, Dora pair for
Eric.
dealer here, but maybe just go Ricci Dora 2 if you fill the other shapes in.
That is true.
This
Depends
should
on
be
if you get the
4
second
so.
pair or
Oh, I
not.
hate the 5
Oh.
so cut. I hate the 5 so cut.
Now,
So this just gives
Eric,
you
I
3
think he has a
pairs.
tendency to
You're
just
guaranteed to end up on a pair weight there for
yeah.
Harrison.
Now I think
チ
Eric has that tendency to just basically look for the
リー
Well,
チ
that's
okay
just a
now too high.
Ricci Dora 2 on 1 4 so.
Yeah. Now 4 souls 1 left and 1 souls 2 left, I believe. Ricky part 2 for James, but he keeps it.
And the 7 pin is 1 left as well.
Yeah. Do we have double wrong if James decides to cut the 4 soul?
I can't imagine that being the first style cut. If you're gonna shove something in there, you shove the 1 so.
Yeah. I'm just saying that do we have a double wrong in
Yes, there are
ARM?
double and triple roan.
DS triple wrong? I saw it's not 10 hole. That's not 10 hole.
It's not Tenho default. That's a rule. We try to do WRC, but there's such utter hatred of Atamahane in the US that we just don't use it. So double
That's
and
a
triple
shame.
roan are on.
Do you prefer having a Tamahane?
I hate Atamahane. I have had games where I got head bumped 3 times by the same player.
Okay. Now what to do?
ド
Okay.
ン
That was not
Harrison.
it, apparently. Ricci, Dora 2.
That's 7,700 at least.
No aura. The problem with this is it put him in Furitan. He was just going for Tempai payments doing that, but I think you just have to keep shoving there.
The
Eric, his
thing is
dealer
that
here, gets over 30k, 35-2 with a Ricci, Tanyao, maybe just a Dora. So the hand's not bad, but really
yeah,
needs a 6-0 and a 7-mon wouldn't hurt. On the right, Pinfu, maybe a 1-2-3 Sanshoku. Across the way, that looked like Itsu or maybe Honitsu. And on the left, that looks cheap but fast for Ricci Dora 1.
that is true. I think one of the reasons why Harrison decided to come fourth, so is that even if he decides to if he draws like a super dangerous tile, he and falls so past, then he knows that there is a safe tile
The
in
other
his
4
hand.
so would pass. I think if you're really scared of it, you can always cut the 7-pin pair. It didn't feel that bad on that board. But I think that it just got Harrison earlier. He got into trouble when he didn't cut the 5 so from that 4-5-5. He cut the 4-5-5. No, there was a block shape, and I know he locked in the pair in. So yeah, 4 4 4 5. Yeah, cut the 4 4 5 and cut the 5 instead of the 4. Could have had a Rionman there and just had pairs all over the place afterwards. It's gonna be on an ugly Champon, which are of course
Mm-hmm.
hard to win, and I think he ended up would have won that hand there.
That is true. Whereas we
And
can
that
see
is
L might
Ishunten on
have
the
a
right
chance for
now.
Tanya's uncle.
Wait, that is not Ishunten, that is Ryunshunten, but lots of upgrades anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's
Yeet.
Tempide. You just slam it. I don't really see what else you could do. But just reach Eudora 1. You're really hoping to draw 8 so, because the con's the only way you're getting value out of this.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, immediately draws another Dora, and you're feeling really sad having got that 2-1 earlier. Free
相撲
so fits nice and half. There's the Sumo Ricci Sumo. Dora 1. No Aura, but we'll get him back above 0 anyway. And we're heading to all last. James is dealer here with an amazing starting hand. Ricci Pinfu most likely, maybe Ricci Tanyao, maybe Ricci Pinfu and Tanyao.
Yeah.
On the right, Pinfu type hand, maybe an Itsu upgrade. Across the way, I think it's Brute Force either Toy Toy or Honitsu, and I'm not sure which one yet, but probably Honitsu. Even though you have that 9 Sawanko, I'm not that attached to it. I'm looking for value, and I'm just not seeing it in that hand right now. On the left, well, that's just Ishunten. For Ricci, Ipeko, Dora 1. Oh, speaking of Tempai, we have one there for dealer. It would be Ricci Nomi, but is looking for some sort of upgrade.
Yeah. I think that 5 6 7 man has a lot of potential to at least get a painful hand.
And if we would have kept the 8, would have been Tempai now for the Ricci Pinfu, but this is the problem with Dama, is you don't have the double floaters.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is that at least he retains his tempai shape. Okay, now he gets the painful.
That's good
リー
enough.
チ
Ricci
Slams the button.
Pinfu, 4-7. They're actually a decent number in hands already. There are, what, 3 left?
Looks actually left in the wall.
And this may put Nathan in an awkward position. He may just end up pushing because he doesn't know how to fold this. Harrison, on the other hand, just kind of stuck here. We'll go ahead and shove the 9 so. And there's Tempai.
My Dama
Zara
this.
just gonna Dama, yeah, looking for the snipe on that 9 so that I think just comes out either right now
Boom.
or from Harrison. And there's the Dama Pinfu, Dora 1 will
Mhm.
secure a positive second there for Eric, but the big winner here is Nathan. 65.5 and a plus 50.3, gonna catapult all the way near Steven, should be 92.6. Eric salvages something out of that, and I believe we'll jump past Harrison ended up taking a big hit. In third place will be James, who takes a minus 16.9, is going to be right around 0. And Harrison, the minus 44.7, going to drop quite a bit.
Mhm. That is true, but like overall, like Harrison, I think didn't have the best game of his life. But yeah, have a look at the standings here.
Yeah, of course, we saw the immediate, we just come in right as he deals into the con that gives 2 extra Dora, and you can't do anything about that. And the others
No,
didn't
no,
have
no, no,
safe tiles.
no, 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 no. You can't do anything about that.
But the leader in this division is Christine, who's just on an absolute roll with 5-1, 5-1. Can't complain about that. David doing even better at 5-3-1-1. You can see some of these winning percentages up over 25%, and that's generally going to be good enough to win overall. The only person in the positives under a 20% win rate is Harrison. So at least when he's winning, he's cashing them in. 64-15, very good average there.
That is true.
And I think we're going to stay with this table because no others are recently finished or started a game. So we're just going to stay here. We have another game in 2 minutes. So I'm going to grab some water and we'll see you then. And welcome back. We should have the table starting any second here. As we have Harrison as the first dealer, Nathan on the right, across is James, and on the left is Eric. And we're off, and Harrison has a Pinfu type hand, potential upgrades to Dora or maybe Itsu. On the right, that's a real Itsu hand, needing 2-pin and 6-pin to complete it. Basically, also has a floating 2-mon Dora across the way. 1-2-3 Sanchiku, maybe a Junchan or Chanta even. Lots of ways to play that. And on the left, a really ugly version of a Pinfu hand. The more I look at that, the more I hate it.
That's fair enough, but we can see we just see how the hand improves, right?
Well, that's the thing. The farther you are from Tempai, the more tiles get you to a better position, because it doesn't get much worse than that.
That is true.
Now, as a Chun pair, can plan on maybe going Chun or maybe Toy Toy or Honitsu. There are lots of different ways that can end up getting played.
Mm-hmm.
Just goes and cuts the 1-mon Dora indicator. Rest of the hands are just kind of working a little bit more towards their goals, but nothing's really breaking away. You'd really like to see, say, a 2-mon pair up for Nathan, or let's say, yeah, 4-pin fill for Harrison would massively help this hand, like that one. And is now Ishanten for Tanya Dora 1, needing 3-mon and 6 so.
Mm-hmm.
And Eric pulls another Dora, thought a second for about a Chi, and then looked at it and said, wait, that doesn't make any sense. I think this should be 8-mon. Cuts the 7, so actually moves his hand back in Shanten. I really don't like that cut. I think it should always be 8-mon. Especially having already cut the 9 mon, your upgrades to say the 7 doesn't help you.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the only draw that doesn't make it look terrible. And even here, it's not like a great upgrade with that 8 mon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, okay. What we have is a Sanzo cultist, apparently. Just knew that the 3-so would onko up, and it's now template. This should always be a slam.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, is he timing
Each.
out? Okay. I think that was utter disgust at drawing a 3-so. I know that Harrison is not a cultist, so I mean, we have to accuse him of being one at all times. So it is Ricci, Tanyao, Dora waiting on 3mon. There are 3 in
Sumo.
the wall, and there's one of them. Ricci, Apatsu, Sumo, Tanyao, Dora. Any Ura is
Aurora,
Hanemon, but
no.
no. I mean, Ura
Harrison
3, 2
returning the
chances
table.
there for a Baimon. Certainly would have fixed the problem Harrison had in the first game. And that's a pretty good starting hand here, too. Potential Toy Toy Honitsu, Haku,
Mm,
maybe distant dream of Daisangen, but I wouldn't expect it. On the right,
no.
7-so's a nice fill there. Gets City Peiko upgrade for potentially Ricci Peiko Dora across the way. Also pretty good hand there for Ricci Pinfu, Dora, maybe a 456 Sanjiku eventually. And on the left, I don't know, what are you, Chanta? I think you just play
On the right?
efficiency and see what happens. On the left.
Left. It might well be, but I think efficiency is the answer.
Yeah, well, efficiently is normally the answer. And that's what Mahjong generally is you're trying to find out, is there a reason not to just play efficiency?
I mean, sometimes you have to shove big hands if you're like that far behind. But we can see how Eric is keeping the Mandora despite trying to aim for efficiency as well, just to see if he can get the extra battle while Harrison is one step closer to his Honey too.
Yeah, Harrison almost certainly go Hunitsu with this. And now that definitely feels like you cut 6-so. You could even cut the pin, Sean. I don't even mind, say, 7-pin. I like 7-pin, the more they look at it a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
The Shunton for Harrison, not the one he really wants, though. And we see the Peiko fill in there on the right. Now, Ishunten. I mean, Harrison has to cut 3-4 here, doesn't he? There it goes. Ooh, do you pull in this? I pull in this. Yeah, I like that. This 1-mon is disgusting as a Hellweight donkey. But I think you just wait on Shun anyway.
That is true. But Tong is how tanky as well. Now he can upgrade his weight.
Right.
See
Lots of
something
ways
still, but
here.
7
And
is
I
definitely
mentioned on the
infinitely better.
left. I mentioned on the left that might be Chanta, and it's moving that way.
Mm-hmm.
Would still need to say, like, draw, say, 1-so or 3-so, but it's possible.
That is true.
And no real improvements for anyone. Nathan just stuck there in Ishanten hell. Well, there's another pair, but you really don't want to give the 3s to Harrison. Ugh.
Yeah.
Ew.
Ew, but still, it upgrades the
I mean, you
Eastern.
take it, but ew.
Each.
It's Tempai across the way. Yeah, I definitely slam that. Ricci, Pinfu, Dora 1. Wait, it's not Pinfu. It is Ricci, Dora 1. That's actually a terrible weight.
Now Harrison might have to deal in here
Well, he's just going to shove the south for now.
for now.
Isn't he?
Long.
Oh no! What are you
to-
doing? Trust the half Suji gets punished for it. I don't know what
mean-
he's doing. The South,
I mean, it's
even if it were live, like I'm not that worried about it here. That 4 is bad.
yeah, but I mean that I think it's just that because he has 3 of the 5 months in his hand, so it's technically one chance.
I don't like it. The South was live, but no, you should just shove it.
Mm.
Regardless, though, Nathan is dealer here with a potential 678 or 79 Sanchogu. Maybe Tanyao. Hand looks very good now. Now it's a couple pairs, so definitely going more towards the Tanyao side. On the right, feels like a Tanyao there as well. 4-5 so would really help. Across the way, there's just no value. I'm looking at it and trying to find any route to value, and I'm not really seeing it. Maybe a Peiko if you draw, say, 8-9 mon. And on the left, pretty straightforward hand. You have two Dora. The question is, you ever go Tanya with it, cutting 9-9. And I say if I see the 4 mon, I would definitely chi and just go Tanya. And if I don't, I probably wouldn't.
That is fair. Now what to do? Decides to cut the A9 pin. Now Ishanten for Eric.
Ooh, that's a nice pull there for Harrison. Upgrading to potential Ricci Pinfu Peiko Dora 2.
That is a really nice 6-0 draw here from Harrison.
Of course, we know the 6-0 is dead.
That is fair, but even a 3-0 draw, you definitely take it.
Oh yeah, of course. He doesn't know it, but he'd rather have a 3-so draw here.
Now Harrison can go for the ultimate grid by discarding the 9-9. Decides not to. Wise choice,
No,
but
he thought for a second about Cheetoy, and is like, no.
no. You don't go for cheating for this hand. Hell no, don't do it.
Sixmon's really
Eat.
inefficient there by
Now
Nathan.
Tenpai
This
here
should
for
just be
L.
2-pin.
Yeah. Luckily Harrison discarded the 3-pin earlier. Now Nathan, what to do?
Ugh, I think I go 7-mon.
Okay, 2-pin. Dodges it for now, but not forever.
Let's let you keep Ishunt, and this is going to deal in.
No.
Well, from that temp, you're always slamming that. Like, there's no way around that one, I don't think.
Yeah, but again, like, it's just that. Oh, fortunate that. No.
Well, dealer here is going to be James with Tanya type hand. You have a bunch of extra honors to get rid of, but I think the hand's still reasonable here. On the right, oh, well, okay. Now you have Haku pair and Chun pair, and maybe Honitsu. So that hand's getting expensive quickly. Across the way, Shaw pair, so can try and call that, but the rest of the hand doesn't have any value. And on the left, we have Nathan with maybe a 6-7-8 Sanshoku. You have a Dora, so you just play efficiently and see what happens. Maybe you float the option for a 7-8-9 Sanshoku, and that seems to be the plan here, but you don't have to sell out on it yet. And we have 2 players with double Yakuhai, and none of them are overlapping. That's actually quite rare.
Home.
There's the West. Oh, well, that's just Ishunten now. And I think if you take the Haku or the Chun, you don't take Tenpai. I think you just stay with the Honitsu here. Because you also have Itsu routes. There's one. We'll see if this is... You have to pull. And the question is, are you cutting the 4-5? And I definitely would. Takes the Tenpai instead. This is just a 1,000. And now immediate regret.
Home.
Because this would be 6-9 Tenpai for Mongon. Oh, okay. Gets bailed out. Non a 5-8 mon weight. Found by across the way, 3-sided 147 pin for Shadora.
Sumo.
And just sumo.
That's small.
So goes about it a different way, but certainly wins the hand there for Eric. And Eric will be dealer here with a Pinfu type hand. And needs to fill in a bunch of shape. It's just some random floaters, basically, at this point. 3 so really helps, but at the same time, it sends a long
Okay,
way off
Google,
still.
what's
On the right, Pinfu type hand, nothing fancy. Floating Dora, maybe. Across the way, do you go Honitsu? Maybe. The rest of the hand isn't great. And on the left, that is definitely Honitsu, except for the problem you have a Dora here. So may just kind of hedge Chitoi for a while. Do you hear pairs up the double east? There is only one of those left in the wall, though. I don't like the 4-pin. I think it should have been Hatsu. It's a hedge towards Honitsu, but I don't think it's that important compared to Dora acceptance.
I absolutely agree, and decides to cut the 4-pin again. It's just that he might be fixated onto like a double tone pong or like a Twitter kind of hand.
Well, I don't mind the double tone bone, but I just want Dora.
Definitely, you prefer 7-pin over 4-pin, but at the time, you only have one of the 4-pins there. Maybe hard to discover will be more appropriate. Ooh. And now he gets the Honitsu punish, like he just
Yeah, like
decides on
everything
just
about
on the
this hand
current.
is backfired for
Mhm.
Eric. Kind of surprised one mon wasn't cheed. Because that just really helps that hand. That's just brute forcing the Chitoi, but I don't think that hand needs to be Chitoi.
1.
Tenfly on the right, we'll just slam this one. There are only 3 outs left.
ポン
And it should be a pawn.
Yeah, now you
Oh,
shut
and
him
now
for
you're
Eric.
really sad when you draw that other 2-pin. Oh, well, okay. I can just shove the 3. You're not worried about it. Now with 3 of the 2-pin out.
Boom.
Now Pong.
Yeah, I don't mind the fold here. I'm a little
Mhm.
suspicious when someone else is calling like that.
Yeah, the 9 so might come
Should
out.
be 2-3, so. Or I guess, wait, why'd the 7-pin come?
ポン
Why did the 7-pin come?
I don't know, but it kind of reignited IO to a sense.
Yeah, Eric says, sure, I'll play if you're going to give me that. 5's Nakasuji, so that's. And now
Yeah,
we just have
now,
Tenpai and 4-7.
yeah,
ポン
paves the way, and okay, now it's
And
still
there's
in.
the
Boom.
7. Manages to get the win here and the Ricci stick, but 2,900 direct from James and, of course, 3-6 from Harrison will extend that lead to 39-2. And we're in East 4. Homba 1 has a Pinfu type hand. Shapes are pretty acceptable on the right. Couple decent floaters, maybe Honitsu, maybe a Dora. Across the way, well, there are 2 of your Dora, so that's just a Tanya pull and go. But 5 is Dora, and you have pairs of 2s, 5s, and 8s in Pinzu. That's never a fun shape. On the left, Pinfu has a Dora, nothing fancy there. You just play Fish Sea and go. Maybe a Tanya later.
Definitely, but across the table, I actually quite like Nissan's hand. It's just that, as you said, point and go. It does allow a lot. As you can see, that 2-pin is gonna come out from James pretty quickly. But speak,
Ishanten for dealer
yeah, he's on
for
here.
potential Ricci Ipeco.
That is true.
I don't think you're pulling that for the.
No, 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 no.
Oh,
Okay,
ooh, that's
now what to do?
I don't mind
Oh,
just one so.
yeah, one so looks good. Or the ultimate greed okay, Sumukedi said. The ultimate greed option will be 6 or 4 to see if there's a chance of a Su ankle.
Yeah,
ポン
I don't buy that. There's a
No, no, no,
first
no, no.
pawn from Nathan.
hmm
Yashanten now he still needs the 3-6 show and the 5-pin, 8-pin Shampon.
Yeah. Now, James decides to not go for the Ishan 10 option, instead discuss the 1 man for a chance for Tanya. Oh,
Well,
sorry,
the
my
big
bad.
problem here is 3 of those 4 tiles are just super locked in James' hand. Like, they're not coming out.
No. Okay. Now has a chance to offer a possible upgrade. Now Ishan 10 for James, I believe. Or is it not? Still not. Oh, sorry about that.
It's not.
Okay, now
Tempai.
Tenpai.
Well, you have to just take it.
Yeah, you take it.
Oh, that's like the only thing that might eventually cause it to come out. But this should be 3 so 6 so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 6 so first.
Throws the. Uh-oh.
Now what to do?
Oh, that's bad.
Maybe a 9
Wait,
so
no,
that's
because the 5's still going to be the pair. It's fine.
Yeah, 5 so will be the pair here.
Just throw the 6.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
now
and there you
Tenpai
go. It's
just
just
slam it.
I would reach
Slam it.
you. I mean, you can Damo a
Eat.
5200, but I
Yeah.
think you just slam this.
Yeah. I mean, it is tiny or painful Dora too, though.
The
So
5
it's.
is dead. It's not Pinfu.
Mhm.
So it's 52. Oh
No.
no! The
Shit.
last 8 of the wall. That is really unfortunate. But Nathan will gladly take that and get into a reasonably comfortable 3rd place now. Harrison is dealer. Has a couple pairs, a couple floaters, and a whole bunch of trash. On the right, now that's a hand. That is Ishunten already for Ricci, Tanyao, Dora 3.
Mhm.
Across the way, similarly, a Dora, a couple floaters, a couple pairs. I guess you have a south pair you could call and go, but nothing compared to what we're seeing on the right. And on the left, we have a pay. Now you just call that, and you're in pretty good shape. You could accept a Dora.
Home.
You could go Honitsu. There are a couple ways to play this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Dora acceptance and there is a chance of forcing home into as well. Just depends on what house he gets. Keeping the honest
Chi.
just in case.
I
As you
like the
see.
6-man cut there. Gives you the Ryokan there on the right with that Ishunten.
Yeah.
Ishunten across as well now.
Now Eric needs to
Ooh, now you have
decide.
to make a decision. Yeah, I think you just
Yeah.
play efficiency.
And you also don't lose the chance of getting a
And
home
there's
into as well. Like,
Tempai.
yeah, it's a chance.
You have to call it,
Chi.
especially with the Haku having already come out. You have to take that Tempai.
Yeah.
And
Now it's also
Ishunten for
Ishan 10.
dealer as well.
Mm-hmm.
The 7-pin is generally a better cut there because you can
agree.
accept the 3. The 7 just doesn't do
Yeah.
anything for this hand.
Yeah, that 6-man draw for James is definitely awesome. It gives him the Dora acceptance for his hand.
Yeah, the problem is Nathan has all of them.
Yeah, and his Tempai as well decides to shove the 5, so sets up a
Oh,
Suji
this may
trap.
be in a Potsu deal in.
Oh no.
And it is Ricci Apatsu Dora 3. No Ura,
No
but a
Ura.
direct hit on first place is going to pull Nathan out from 3rd all the way to 1st.
Yeah, good play from Nathan. Set up the Suji trap, gets rewarded.
Yeah, that's what you normally do with that 135, and just there were no better options there for Eric. I think you generally just shove the 2 there.
Mm-hmm.
But Nathan, now in first place and dealer, has a decent hand here. Maybe Ricci Tanyao, depending on what happens to this penchant on the right. I mean, it's a Pinfu, but it's a long way from one. You have a Dora, but I just don't like those shapes. Across the way, cuts the 3-pin. Definitely hedging the Honitsu here. I don't like that one. I think you just cut the Haku. On the left, couple pairs, good shapes in Manzu. So, feeling like a reasonably okay hand, just no value.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I do not like the 9-mon cut. I think that now you've drawn that, your best route for value is Itsu. So I'd cut the 2-cut Haku. Instead, kind of holding a safe tile, which I guess now the hand is bad enough you might argue for it. But I feel there was at least routes to getting something out of this before.
Okay, now what to do?
Come.
Do you just con it? Okay, nice con. It
Con.
gives extra
Okay.
Dora.
Yes, does give an extra door. Also gives an extra Dora potentially to Harrison.
That is true. But again, this one Dora for Nathan is definitely gonna be used.
Well,
Okay,
that's
I'll
just
turn
an
pie.
easy slam.
Slams it.
Ricci Dora, 1 4-pin.
Yeah, it's also notable that there's an extra 16 fu for each human with that con, so it's gonna be at
50
least
fu.
Yeah, at least 50 fu here.
Or 50 on Roan, rather. Of course, Sumo will still
Yeah.
be the 40.
Yes, Sumo will be 26 all, and then I believe I'm messing up the scratch.
Roan would be 96.
They're pretty big.
And the 1 4 is still pretty good on the wall here.
Yeah,
I
there's 4
see
in the wall.
4 of them, so 4 left.
Okay,
Well,
3
there's
now in the
one
wall.
of them.
Yeah, that one pin is vulnerable from James, like as fourth place if he decides to push it.
Well, this is actually, yeah, workable hand there for Harrison. With the
Now
2
that one's so
Suji,
really.
especially if you draw 5, so I think you always slam this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, here, you have to chase this. You have to.
リーチ
Yeah, chase.
If you
Nice
deal
chase
in,
there.
you deal in.
Yeah, Ricky passes for James.
スモ
Yeah.
And that's why. Another Ipatsumo for Harrison. Ricci, Ipatsu, Sumo, Pinfu, Dora.
And the
Anymore
world
is
Hanuman.
Hanuman and a double miss. So we had a lot of Ricci's with Dora chances, and none of them are hitting Aura. No one's hitting Aura at this table.
No.
All right, James is dealer here. 3 4 5 Sanshoku also has a floating 1-pin Dora. Shapes are okay. Dealer has a very good hand. On the right, kind of a Pinfu hand, maybe an Itsu or Ipeko in So. Also the floating 1-pin Dora. Across the way, Hatsu pair. And not much else. May just be a call and go. And on the left, 4 pairs. Definitely a Tanyo hand. Maybe
Boom.
Tanyo and Chitoy.
We'll have a look to see what the hands will be eventually, but across the table, the Hatsupong means that Harrison's hand is gonna be the quickest, but across the table, I like James's hand and what's that, Eric's hand. Eric's hand because he has a chance of getting an Ipeko, and James' hand because he does have the OK. That now Central Group sounds really tangible here.
Oh, yeah. It looks great here. And I'm looking for an excuse to go Sanshku Dora Tanki now.
If there's a chance of like a painful Tanya, would you take it?
I mean, yes, obviously. This should just be 7-pin.
Yeah.
Like, I like Tanya as much as the next guy,
Ah.
but you're gonna feel really bad if you get a 2, because the 7 just doesn't do much here.
No.
Because if you get the 6, you already have the 3 pair. The only tile that helps you is the 8, and you see the 6-9 is really bad. You see 4 of them already.
That is true. And also, if you get like if you get something like a 6-pin, you kind of loses the guaranteed sensor cruise ship.
Yeah,
Oh,
Chito
now.
Ishan on the left.
Now it's 2 Shanten with the chance of a central
Chito Ishan on the right as well. I think you cheat this. Like, I'm really sad about this hand.
Oh no. Central Tanya is not gonna do jack crap.
Well, you're dealer. You have to have something. I think you just
That
have
is
to
true.
take that one.
Yeah, you take those.
I
Okay,
think the
now
problem was earlier in the hand. It wasn't that draw specifically. Again, I really hated the Dora cut. That really limited the options of this hand.
that is true. This one for man left in the wall. See what James gonna deal with. What James
Could
gonna
have
do with it.
pawned and then either waited on 2-5 or 3-3. I kind of like pawn cut 4.
Yeah, but that you lose the central.
Probably more worried about the Honitsu across.
ロン
Okay, that
But
fold.
wins anyway, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think
Sanchoku
they
Tanya, 2,900, nice win.
nice
That
one.
was the other reason. You should keep the Sanchoku if you play it this way, which was obviously why it was done. James is dealer again with a Chun pair, probably call and go here. The rest shapes are okay, but it's really hard to complete close. You need the 6-pin badly. You need to connect to some of these floaters on the right. Pinfu, nothing fancy. Maybe a 5-6-7 Sanchoku across the way. Kind of a Pinfu hand, but when you see 2-5-8 in two suits and the other suit is 1-1-5-7-8-8, you're not thrilled. And on the left, it's not good, it's not bad, it's just kind of there. It's a
That
Pinfu
6-man
hand, but
fill
there's
is
no
really good.
value.
Yeah, that 6-man fill is brilliant for Eric. Progressive send to a summon 2抗一上 turn here. Now what to do? You keep the chance of a 5-6-7 Sanshoku.
I definitely
Okay.
keep the Sanchoku. I'd have cut 9-pin. Because if I
Why
pair up
9-pin though?
Formon, I can just go Tanya Sanchoku.
Hmm.
Plus, that keeps my the hand the way I wanted it anyway.
But you don't get to keep 4-man even if you have a Sanshoku chance though.
Well, just pair up the Formon. You assume I'm using 9 as a pair, and I'm not.
ポン
Okay, a pawn here.
Yeah, and that's the other thing that could happen is that 4. And now you're like, why do I
Oh,
still
yeah,
have
yeah,
this
9-pin,
9 mon
9-pin,
in my
9-pin,
in my
9-pin,
hand?
9-pin.
Yeah, so you end up in kind of a worse position if you'd have just cut it earlier. Because now I'd be perfectly fine cutting the 9 pair. Meanwhile, dealer called Chun is Shunten, looking for 4-7 so and 4-7 mon.
Yeah. Well, after this thing is that the Hatsudora is only thing 1, so this is still left in the wall.
Well,
Not the
there's one
second
of
one.
them.
I think you keep it. Yeah.
Yeah, you also don't know that it's only one else in a hand.
Hmm. But
So,
in,
as far
in
as you're
general, like,
concerned, it's
okay,
live, and
yeah,
someone almost certainly
yeah,
has a
I
pair
think
at
that's
this
coming out
point.
now. Yeah, it's coming out.
Yeah, but now it's good enough to just get
Now,
rid. And
out.
now just all of them flow out. I'm surprised that Harrison didn't cut it there.
Is that a chi?
I
チ
like Chi 9 mon.
Okay, now 2-5 so. A so we know
Oh
Yaku.
yeah, okay. This is right. Never mind. I just that this what did confirm the Sanchoku. Again, I never wanted that 9 mon in this hand. I wanted it gone ages ago.
That is true that if you were playing it, you might have the full set of pair.
Yeah, I'd still have the 4-so pair, and I'd be tempted. I think I would have won this hand if I'd have played it.
Oof, oof,
チ
who knows? So 2-man cheat here.
Yeah, just
Oh,
looking for the
because
K10 here. We'll end up dealing in with a 5-so if he does get it, though.
that is true. Yeah, I'm low-key surprised that he didn't have 5 so in the first place. Maybe it's acknowledging that it's not the safe.
Well,
It's not
it's
as
not
safe.
a
ポン
it's not a great tile, and he's not even convinced it has to be a K10 play.
Hmm.
He wants to keep some options open to winning the hand, but now it's late enough. It's just whatever.
Yeah, now the dealer.
Tempai on 4-7,
スモ
That's true. Yeah.
and there's a 7. I believe, yeah, it's 1800. Gets a repeat out of it. Shuts down all the cheap hands with a cheap hand of his own, and has 3 pairs and not much else. I guess there's a Ryaman and a floating Shadora. Not really impressive hand. It's not terrible, but it's not good by any stretch. On the right, kind of a Pinfu 678 Sanchoku looking pretty good. Across the way, 678 or 789 Sanchoku most likely. And on the left, that's just Honitsu in Pinzu, isn't it? I'm trying to think of anything else I'm doing with that hand. The answer is maybe if I draw other stuff, but and backfire on the non-cut. I mean, sure it was once cut by Eric at the time, but I would have just cut the 1-so there. I didn't really like that. The backfire always hurts. Oh, now I see it because it was also the door indicator. So yeah, it was dead at that point. In that case, it makes a lot more sense. Pair up with a 9-mon on the right. Kind of question for Eric: how long are you going to keep that floating Dora? I imagine that James is going to keep floating Dora maybe till the end of the hand. It feels like he's hedging Cheetoy. And another pair backfire by Nathan. And I believe Harrison's Cheetoy Ishan 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, seems. Oh no, this is like ultra cursed. Not only is it Cheetoy, but a Cheetoy with Sanzo.
I mean, Sanso's a good shipnet. Like, as good as you can get.
Well, Eric's trying to figure out how to get 6, 7, 8 out of this. I'd throw that back. I don't think it's useful at all. Maybe the 6-mon instead. Yeah, there it goes. A whole bunch of hands that are just not fun to play. Because everyone has to think they're behind in this hand. And the answer is because everyone else's hand is just as bad as yours. I definitely like keeping the 5 so Nakasuji.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't necessarily think it's great in the wall, but at the same time, if you do get Tempai, it's not a bad weight. Then this 4 so on the other hand, that's 2 cut. I don't like how Harrison's playing this. Ishan 10 for James. Oh, and the backfire there for James.
Mm-hmm.
Could have taken Tempai if the 9-pin would have been cut last turn.
Boom.
And Nathan's hand's kind of stuck. I think Harrison's done with this. He's just gonna call for Toy Toy probably. The problem is the hand looks like Toy Toy and it's so far
Boom.
away.
It is
Dealer
true.
says, I'll take K10. I may be the only one who has anything.
Boom.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time,
Boom.
we're gonna see. Okay, now the hand is certainly opening, and everyone just has trash everywhere. That is Tempai,
Boom.
and now everyone's Tempai. Actually, I think Harrison has a good chance of winning this. There's 1 each left in the wall.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's dead wall, it doesn't matter. And Eric does kind of fold out of this. I don't understand that, but gets the perfect draw in the end to get back into Tempai. Didn't want to deal into a possible Honitsu from Harrison, but given those 5-mon cut early, I don't think I would think Harrison. I wouldn't believe Harrison was Tempai for the Chinitsu at that point. Regardless, though, we have a repeat here. Everyone Tempai, no one wins anything. And James
Boom.
has a self and calls it. Also has 2 Dora in hand. So definitely in the best position here. On the right, 1, 2, 3 Sanshku looks pretty good. Not too much else, but you also have 3 Homba, so any one on hand would get you 30k across the way. Ipeco in so. 3 so would really help. Also, the floating Dora there. On the left, maybe Itsu in so. The shapes aren't great, but they're not like terrible.
That is true. Like across the table, everyone has a chance. It just depends on the draw. Outside the draw, sometimes you just get lucky
Decoy
and you get
Ishan
everything
10
you
for
need.
Harrison. Could go Doratanki.
Okay, that's 3, so it's a god draw for Nathan. Whereas we have Eric
Ishan 10 on the
Ishan 10.
left now. That's a very nice draw. Can even call this down if
That
you
is true.
see a 4
Yeah.
so or a
But
7 so.
Eric 10 by winning for Sun, so winning for Sun,
I
so
mean, you have to Riichi this, don't you? Like, what else are you going to do?
wait, what the
He's brute
how
forcing Sanshoku. That's what he's
Shoku.
doing.
Yeah, brute force Shoku, yeah. Will it pay out? We'll have a look. We'll wait and see.
Yeah, I just slam it. I don't
I mean, you win
think this really helps
Chi.
because your shapes are so bad. And
yeah.
like I think that would have come out anyway and you'd have won.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that 5-pin discard definitely half force it. Might be looking for a Ipeco as well.
Yeah, he's hedging the Ipeco now.
Mhm.
And likes the Soy. Oh, there's Tempai for Harrison. Waiting on Dora.
1
Yeah, the P2A Dora Leech. Oh,
Oh,
Pump.
okay. That I don't like. Waiting on the Nakasuji 5 mon now. It is actually very good in the wall. And
that
there's
is true.
on the right. That's Riichi Sanshoku. I imagine you have to chase. What? Eric is so passive at this table. I don't get it.
No. Like, I mean, he is second place indeed, but he is one step away from fourth. So, like, if he is afraid of dealing in at the stage to get into Olaf at fourth place, but again, I do feel that okay now, James is now waiting for the Tanki here.
Yeah,
That
waiting on
8
the 8
pin,
pin. It's dead.
yeah, 8 pin is dead, but it does feel safe to the
Oh, could
dealer.
switch here. The
Yeah.
7 mon is Genbutsu.
Yeah. I think 8 pin does look safe some sort to Harrison.
Yeah, Harrison's
2
betting everything on this Nakasuji trap, and
Yeah.
it doesn't matter now.
Okay, now. Oh no.
It should be
Might be
the
an
8
8 pin
pin.
this
8
guy.
pin.
Might
Has
be
to be
might be an
one
8 pin.
chance 8 pin.
Yeah.
Like, I think 5 is just bad here.
Yeah. I mean you can just 4 bill out with the 7 man, but you have Dora 3.
Right.
And you're a dealer.
Just the 1 7 mon and then nothing else makes the 5 feel really bad. And
Okay,
No.
there's
that's
the deal
also
in.
doing.
Ricci. No aura.
Yeah, we can see how like Nathan does tend to play in a rather aggro way, like basically chasing Lychee with a rather mediocre hand and still wins.
Right, had the good shape. Figured the dealer was on a lousy weight, which he was. But also saw the Dora, so the Ricci wasn't that scared. I was much more worried about the dealer hand.
That is true. But the other was having a weight as well, right? The 5-8 one.
Yeah, well, he eventually got there, but when the Ricci was taken, I don't think it was that good. As he really wanted that 8-pin Tonki weight. Didn't realize, of course, Harrison had both of them. The 8-pin didn't look that bad, but we, of course, could see that Harrison had 2 of them. Anyway, we are in all last, and this is a Pinfu Tanyao type hand with a potential 4-mon Dora. I think everyone's going to be able to use one of those or more. I see 2 of them on the left. But going around the table like normal, we have Tanyao, Dora, Ipeco on the right across the way. Probably just Ricci, Nomi, maybe even just call for Tanyao, lock in the positive second. On the left, Chun pair and 2 Dora. That's definitely a call and go hand. But you really need the Mongun here. There's even a
True.
sumo of 1,000, 2,000 will not get you out of last place.
Mhm.
Ishan 10 on the right for Harrison. I imagine he'll call if he gets a chance.
ポン
And now we're about to see it, and there it goes, and there it goes. And this 7 pin just feels like it comes out from Eric. The question's basically when. Three-mon doesn't really help here because you don't ever want to be cutting Dora. The three's useless when you're going Honitsu, and I just don't buy it.
Mhm.
And there it goes. And there it goes. I said that's several. What? Oh no, Harrison. I mean, this is either a galaxy brain play or a moron, and I'm never sure which with him. So what he's hoping is he's hoping that Nathan draws it, deals in, he gets the extra +5. But I think you always take that. Now we have Tempai for Tanya Dora 2 on the left. I'm mildly surprised the Shumpon wasn't taken because that would have been the way to first place. I guess looking for
Sumo.
the... Well, as I
Okay.
said, there's your 1,000, 2,000. And Harrison ends up losing, what, 3.3 points from passing on it. But it's going to be a win there. Not, however, enough to get out of last place. Harrison does get the 27.7. Oh, okay, so that's the idea. Is he does get the extra UMA because the person that sumoed knocked Nathan under 30k. So he does end up netting a small 1.7 from that. So surprising, but hey, it worked out. Nathan with a minus 0.4, Eric with a minus 8.4, and James with a 26,104th, ouch, minus 18.9.
Mhm. Yeah, that's really nicely played by Harrison. Galaxy Brain.
That was not nicely played. That was a luck box.
It's a luck boss. Isn't luck boss a good play in
It
Mahjong?
worked out, but it was not the right play.
For. It's Mahjong. It's Mahjong. If it works out, it works out.
All right. Are we going to head over to the C1 game then?
Okay. Yeah. Let's see the ultimate luck boss then. Hopefully,
Yeah, this will
hopefully
probably be
me
the
as
last
well.
game of the night, but it'll be between
Yeah.
TC, Yanfang, Dave, and Tom.
Yeah. C1's absolutely a spectacle. Like every time I go there, there's something that's fascinating.
Long.
All right. And here we are. Looks like we missed a total of one hand, so I'll consider this a full game. Looks like it was a 3,900 DLN, so either a Ricci and then a 2,900 DLN or a bunch of Foo for dealer. Either way, we have deer here with a Dora and kind of a Pinfu hand, maybe an Itsu. On the right, we have possible 456 Sanshogu, maybe an Itsu in So. Across the way, we have a Haku pair and pretty good shapes. You have a bunch of honor wins to get rid of that aren't really helping you. And on the left, a bunch of pairs, maybe even possible Suanko routes. We see the Double East has been called by TC, has a Dora here, so that's 3 Han Ishan 10.
Mm.
Problem is, needs the 8 Mon, and those seem to be accounted for.
Kang.
Like, right there. Oh, and draws the 6 as the Rinchon. Oh, wow. It's like, can I have one of those 8s back? Thanks. Oh, there's the 7. That's going to be Tempai. So waiting just on the 5, the old Rionman that's actually a Penchon. And also showing 3 Han to the rest of the table. So they may be a little more cautious here. Draws the door and just shoves it. Oh no. Yanfeng appears to be disconnected.
Oh no, 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 no.
Pom.
I just
That's
realized, I
not
was
what
like,
you want to
wait,
see.
why are those all Sumagiri? And so we're going to wait for confirmation on that. If that's actually the case, we may just end the stream here because no one really wants to see that.
Pom.
It's unfortunate for any of the players.
Mm-hmm. So do we have
Oh, I'd
confirmation?
have pawned. I would definitely have pawned that two pin.
Kang.
Holy cow.
More cons. Now we have a
Oh.
South Dora across the way, has two of them, and that's going to be Tempai.
Pom.
And that con
Mhm.
makes this a Mongon.
That is
Waiting on
true.
1-4.
Yeah, 1-4-man wait. But 4-man is dead and 1-man is one left in the wall.
There's
Boom.
the
5
5
man
double
still waiting.
roan.
Double roan.
Just the Tanyao, but the dealer's going to pick up the 5,800 here.
Yeah. And that's why people hate Atsuzuke. I mean, not Atsuzuke, Atamahane.
Oh, yeah, exactly. You'd be really sad if you missed that one.
That is true.
I think we're going to give this one more hand, and if we don't see a reconnect, we may just call it here.
Mm. Yeah,
Because
I
I'm
don't
not
think
getting
it's...
an update, so all I can do is what I'm seeing in front of me. But
Yeah.
TC has a decent hand here, looking for the Peiko with the 1-4-so. Across from us, we have a Honitsu in Mon. Of course, always nice to have the Dora suit Honitsu. On
Home.
the left, we see Haku pair, and that has been called now. And Ishunten will need the 7 Mon twice, greeting for both Dora. Yeah, that's definitely disconnect. So I think we're just gonna fill this hand in respect to the players and then call it here because that's just unfortunate.
That is true. That's not what you want to see.
So still Ishunten on the left. Dealer trying to pull something together, has the pairs to get rid of, but also 6-0 would really help.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we can see 2-6, we can see 3-6-0. There's actually a really in-demand tile. Well, there's Tempai. So just waiting on the Dora now, locks that shape in. Ishunten now for dealer, TC in much better position. But you have that 5-5 Shampon potentially, never what you really want. I probably would cut the 7 so instead. Keep the 6 pin acceptance, turns into a pinfu at least. Ah, and there's the 6 mile. That's their door indicator. Is it going to be called? Nope. There's Tempai. I mean, you have to
Each.
reach this, don't you? Especially when you have... Well, wait, the 1's dead. But you figure the 4's actually okay. You see 6 outs and don't think there are any left. And look at those pawns. That's how I'd read it, too, is I think all of them are in the wall, even if it is just 2. Now, you have 2 draws, especially with potentially 3 people discarding. Then I think this is a good Ricci. But nope, 2 of them were in the dead wall, and so TC and Tom will pick up 1,500. And as I said, I think we're going to just call it here out of respect for the players. We never want to see a disconnect like that. It's always tragic, but things do happen in online mahjong.
Mhm.
So with that, I think we will do a quick summary. I just feel like today has been day filled with pairs everywhere. Lots of cheat toys, lots of 4, 5 pair hands, just generally. A few
Mhm.
Ipeco, and I'm glad I'm not playing. That's all I'm gonna say about that. All right, I think we're going to take
Oh,
a look at one last hand that came up off stream before we do the final outro. So that's getting pulled up now. And we have pairs. We're looking for a Suanko.
ポン
678 makes that unlikely. Well, we have the pawn here. Well, on a potential con, goes and cuts from the 1-3. Okay. You really like a 2-pin here. Oh, greeding
Boom.
for the toy here. Hard greed. And gets paid off with the 8-mon. Could be Tempai on 1-3 right now, but not
mhm.
much value.
ポン
カン
Oh, okay.
チ
Con into... Oh, well, that's where your 1-pinner now Dora, so that's a very
Come.
expensive hand. Another con.
カン
Another
Good
con.
call.
Okay, so we have a Sukansu already.
ロン
With...
You
Oh, and there's
already?
the Dora. Sankansu Toy Haku, and because that's the expensive end, that third door there turns us into a Baimon. You don't see Sankansu every day. I think that's only like the 6th or 7th one in the whole league. They're
Yeah,
very
true.
rare. We've played thousands of games at this point.
Mhm.
And so as Danny in the B3 series, as we left to check another game, that happened in the meantime. So there's all sorts of stuff going on, but we just never want to cast a game that has someone disconnected. So with that, I am just gonna wrap it up here, and thank you for watching. Of course, this is when we plug our socials at American Ricci on Twitter and YouTube. Of course, you can join the league at americanricci.org, and we will be starting the next season in the beginning of July. You still have about a month to sign up or so. And any closing thoughts?
Mm, not for me. I think that overall people play quite well in a sense. And like, just sometimes Radar is not in the favor.
Yeah,
Not a big deal.
sometimes there were just a lot of unfortunate deal ends. I'd say the thing that caught me a lot of times off guard is people were taking awkward Ishan tens and just not shoving when they had really good hands. People were, instead of scared of Ricci, which is what you should be, I feel a lot of the time people were terrified of Ricci. And I mean, sure, it's not good to deal at, especially if it's going to flip or a 3. But at the same time, if you have Ishan 10 for like dealer Mongon, I think you just shove.
Yeah, if you
But
do, you do in that case.
yeah, and that's how I
Sometimes,
look at it.
yeah,
But
sometimes.
regardless, so that's going to be it for the Wednesday broadcast. Of course, we'll have another one Wednesday, might have another one pop up in the meantime. We have a very interesting A1 table that we're going to try to get cast, but it's a really weird hour, late Friday next week, with the top 3 players in the league. And Nathaniel, who's also currently running the broadcast behind the scenes here and was a fellow commentator earlier. So we're going to try and get that on, but no promises.
Mhm.
And with that, for Jackie, Nathaniel, this is Korak for the American Region League signing off. Good night, everyone.
I know.